now. We're the only team from Waverley town. We're all the champions. They like to send us. We'll keep our end up. They will know that they've been playing against the famous Waverley Blues. Boys, cheers, we're from South Belgrave. Football is the game we play. We will keep on fighting back for the red, white and the black till we see the flag flying down our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Eastern Football League, welcome to Jubilee Park for the 2019 Division 3 Senior Grand Final to be played between South Belgrave and the Waverley Blues. South Belgrave finished the home and away season in first position, unbeaten, with an 18-win, 0-loss record. They defeated Ferntree Gully by 107 points in the second semi-final to progress through to today's Grand Final. The Waverley Blues finished the home and away season in fourth position with 9 wins and 9 defeats. They defeated Ferntree Gully in last week's preliminary final by 18 points to enter today's decider. South Belgrave won the toss and will be kicking to the northern end or cricket net's end in the first quarter. Best of luck to both sides today. Today's officiating umpires, Hugh Tevelin in the field along with Thomas Doonan and Dean O'Neill. On the boundary, Daniel McCarza, David Mitchell, Nicholas Beaton and Aidan Miller. And the goal umpires today are Jason Gillow and William Caldwell. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem?
Well, there you go, the Australian National Anthem. It never fails to raise the hairs on the back of the neck before a big final of Australian rules football, and it doesn't get much bigger than this afternoon out at Jubilee Park. South Belgrave and the Waverley Blues.
Then you know what? Anything can happen in a grand final. Just looking forward to the contest. It's the first time I've seen South Belgrave all year, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Start of the Division 3 Grand Final for 2019. South Belgrave up against the Waverley Blues, and the tap already won by the Saints as Kit tries to barge his way through with the first kick of the game. It was ineffectual. The Blues with the clearance first up towards centre half forward, but they have defenders, the Saints, that are very resolute. And Bretner kicks it towards the outer wing. The bounce favours Bartels. It was obliging for him. Got the hand pass away out the back in the Connolly direction. He's had a good season and sees it out of play on the half forward line for South Belgrave out of side. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on SEN3 this afternoon and streaming also on EFL.org.au right throughout the globe. Many people interested in this clash from various areas as Kidd tries to barge away onto the right foot, kicks it inside 50 for South Belgrave, their first foray forward to the grand final. It was a fickle bounce at the end for Benjamin. The Waverley Blues picked up, snapped towards goal by Odermatt, tried the dinky little check side across the face. It did just that and bounces over the line opposite pocket. Kurt
Benjamin's got a huge job today, taking on Lee Odermatt, and if he can keep him a little bit quiet, that'll be a fillip for Waverley Blues.
That ball actually went out on the full, just over the line, so it'll be a Waverley Blues penalty free kick from their left defensive back pocket. Vile kicks it towards left half back, flying high for the mark, unsuccessful was Curtis. Chance here for the Saints, picked up in the end and kicked towards the full forward area. Spoil came at the back from Connolly, chance deep in the forward line for South Belgrave. The Blues have the numbers across their defensive back pocket. Evans has had a good season, links up towards centre half back. Still a chance now across that half forward line here for South Belgrave. Hand pass comes from Bretner. They exchange handballs right across their half forward line, going backwards to go forwards. Kick around the body from Kidd as a high ball inside 50. Flying high, falls out the back to Connolly. Didn't get enough purchase on the kick towards full forward. It's a rainmaker. Umpire calling play on. Still the ball in dispute at ground level as Dureo effects a tackle along with Risley, and will have a ball up deep inside the Saints forward 50.
Not overawed at the moment, Waverley Blues. They're holding on well in the start of this quarter.
Tap one, a double fister there from Curtis for the Waverley Blues. Sees it over the line for pocket for the Saints.
They've done everything right in the opening couple of minutes. They've manned up very well, Waverley Blues, making sure that South Belgrave get no clear ball from the stoppages.
Connolly with 40 goals for the season. He's been prolific already in that forward line. And as we mentioned, Leo Demat, 73 for the season going into this game. Connolly wins the tap, falls over the line once again.
And that breeze is pushing into that pocket at the moment, so that you'll find that the ball, like it was in the reserves, tends to be heading over towards that area most of the game.
No score as yet on the Eastland scoreboard.
As the ball's been thrown in, it's in the right forward pocket here for South Belgrave. It's a quick kick out of that danger zone there by Turner. Did he get enough curl on it? It goes over the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 3 minutes gone in the Division 3 Grand Final for 2019. What a crowd we've got in here today. Absolutely sensational stuff, and what a viewing spot we have as well. Straight out of the ruck contest. That was really well done there by Haddock. Across that half-forward line, barging his way through. There was Brown, tried to ping the ball. It goes after it again. Second, third effort was fantastic, and we will have a ball up. Multiple finals happening around the grounds in Premier Division, in Division 1 and Division 2 today. It's a huge weekend of EFL footy as Haddock thumped the ball forward this time. Couldn't quite trap it that time. A little handball over the top there by Risley. That was good. Now the kick goes in towards the forward pocket. The big fly over the back there by Connolly, and he might have just pulled it down into Dario's arms. But Dario says, no, it's your mark, mate. Brodie Connolly. What a sensational mark that was.
Yeah, look, a great mark in a difficult pocket, though. This is a tough kick, this one. Ball tends to get drifted there, but I think he's a left footer, so that might help.
He certainly is. He winds around. He'll kick it to pretty much the hot spot. The pack forms. Odermatt's in there somehow. A little handball by Hawkins. He wanted it behind. He got one. First score on the Eastland scoreboard in the Division 3 Grand Final. And it is South Belgrave leading by 1 behind.
Ball to be brought back into play for the Waverley Blues. A designated kicker delivered to Hawkins at the right back pocket. Gee, they're working in a confined space along that boundary line. It was very tight for Rufus to try and take the mark. He fell to the ground and forced it over the line. Right in front of the interchange bench virtually for South Belgrave. They'll be very active early on in the game. Could be a tenacious type of contest given the conditions. Although the ground is held up well here at Jubilee Park, as you would expect. Double fister falls down to Biles, who's claimed in a good tackle by Liam Kidd. He's been excellent all season, hasn't he, Davo? Oh,
he's been fantastic. One of those players that's really, you know, they talk about all the other stars. He's another star in their football side.
Spent some time at Box Hill as well as Haddock wins a tap for the Saints across their half-forward line. The kick from Withers was stubborn, falls over the line.
Around the grounds in Premier Division, it's all square. 2 goals each, Baldwin and Vermont. 11 minutes gone first term.
Started in a good game. Benny Turner already being rotated off the ground. Same with Wes Smith.
Haddock went from behind but missed the ruck contest in the end. Risley tried to bustle his way through. It's across the half-forward line for the Saints as Kidd is wrapped up in a big tackle from Twycross. That's exerting your physical presence. Still a chance for Kidd as he tries to burrow his way through, duck the head. Umpire calls for a bounce. 52 out from the South Belgrave goal.
Well, Twycross was involved in 2 really big tackles. That's what you want from one of your key mids.
So, sorry, Damo, as the ball comes up at the stoppage there, Miles, who's been a veteran for the Waverley Blues for a long time now, Tommy, Joined us on the media team back in the day as well. Hawkins got the handball away. The kick was smothered. There's a couple of great smothers there. The Caro sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
I think Tommy Miles may have got best player on the ground in their last grand final as a 16-year-old.
100% you're correct.
And played a fantastic game that day.
Haddock from the stoppage got the handball away to Risley, got dispossessed to the football. There's really hard stuff early in the piece in this Division 3 grand final. 6.5 gone. It's the first term. EFL.org.au right around the globe today. And, of course, SEN3 and 98.1 Radio Eastern as the umpire starts it again. It'll be Haddock versus Playstead from the road there. Withers did well, got it out. Now here's a chance here for the Blues. Twycross on the right boot. He kicks along, but nobody was home. Leading out in the foot race there was Bretner. Little handball over the top. It was a risky one. Burley wanted it. Bretner gets it back. He ducks the head. He might get pinked here. Great tackle by Tabiner. You've got to reward that one. 60 metres out from goal. The Waverley Blues, their first genuine chance to go inside 50 here. So it'll be James Tabiner. He'll wind up on the left. He'll kick it to the hot spot. That's exactly where it goes. The pack forms and it hits the deck. Umpire calls play on. There's about 15 players around this football. Almost pulling it down there was Playstead, but we'll have a ball up. It's 20 metres out.
He's dangerous down that forward line when he's resting. Playstead been very, very good this year.
24 goals for the season, Dan Playstead. He was very good in that losing game against Donvale that we covered a couple of months back. Set in motion again, tap one by Haddock for the South Belgrave Football Club. They're flirting with danger deep in defence. Withers gets the hand pass away. Now Liam Kidd in a confined space. Swings it round his body. Finds the intended target at the end in Connolly. He takes the mark. Sends a dribbling ball back in towards the corridor. It was a risky kick. Taking it on the half volley was Brown. He's claimed. And we'll have a bounce 55 out from the Waverley goal.
One of the things on this big Ringwood ground is the half forwards, half backs from both sides have got to watch that they don't push too far forward.
Indeed. Tap one again by Haddock. He's been good in the ruck so far for South Belgrave. It's a centre half back. Trying to break through is Milicevic. He was unsuccessful. Chance now for the Waverley Blues with a foray forward. Hand pass taken on the bounce by Rufus. He's claimed in a tackle by Liam Kidd. The bounce 30 out for the Blues goal.
I think Bryce McGain would be really happy with their intent at the contest. Their tackling's been first rate. South Belgrave not getting any easy options at the moment.
Playstead was shuffled out of the contest. No free kick paid. The Blues still deep inside their 450. Step across the body. Will head towards the top of the square here. It's a high ball. South Belgrave have the numbers in the air. It's forced to ground. Forbes tried to take it with the long sleeves. He was claimed. The kick comes out and is marked. The intercept mark is taken by Meyer. And he can have the first genuine shot on goal for the Waverley Blues. In fact, he elects to play on. Chips the pass. Intelligent football there. And the mark has been taken, I believe, by Playstead deep in that 450 for the Blues. And he can put them in front.
He's certainly a beautiful kick of the football, which means I've just mozzed him and he'll kick it out of bounds on the full. But he is a very, very good kick, and this would be a great fillip if he can manage to get it through for the Waverley Blues to start like this.
Averages over a goal a game, 24 for the season. This would be the perfect start for the Waverley Blues, but he's unsuccessful. Pushed it out to the left, minus score. South Belgrave and the Waverley Blues, one apiece on the Eastland scoreboard, almost 10 minutes in.
Yeah, look, that ball just drifted away. He needed to allow for the breeze because that's the way it's pushing, but it did come off the boot nicely.
So, see Tyson Popplestone having a chat to Tommy Miles out there at the moment as the kick goes out towards the wing position or thereabouts. Robertson, little handball over the top. Coughlin came in for the Blues to lend a hand. They might get another chance here, Waverley, but over the boundary line she goes and out. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to car sales. Tyson Popplestone's down there having a chat with Tommy Miles. Not talking about what's happening later tonight, are you, Tyson?
No, not quite yet, boys. I'm going to leave that to the end of the game. But there's a noticeable breeze. I mentioned it earlier. I think Waverley Blues have done very well to get it down forward as much as they have. Just hoping for their sake they can keep it down there because it's an important advantage to South Belgrave at the moment.
It's pretty tense down there at the moment. There's lots of tackling. There's fierce players going at it. What's it feel like down there, Tyson?
Yeah, when the ball was over here just a moment ago, you could feel the tension. I'm glad some of those words weren't coming through to you because it was quite physical, quite verbal.
McNamara got the handball away. Great stuff there, Tyson, across the half-forward line. It'll be a chance now for South Belgrave to thump the ball out of that danger zone. Odermatt worked his way in towards the middle of the ground and stopped there for Smith. He rode the butt magnificently, got it away to Benjamin. They're going in after it. Strong tackle there by Yonkers. And over the bound, and it's a ball up there. Nicely done there Tyson Hale in that passage.
Love the pressure from both sides in this opening 10 minutes.
Oh, it's sensational, isn't it? Playstead, nice little loop around, tap down at that stage. At the bottom of the pack there was Withers on top of him. Benny Turner will have another ball up.
Gee, you nearly got DDT'd there, the young
DDT?
Withers. Yeah.
Oh, you love your wrestling. It's been a physical game, though, hasn't it, so far? So Playstead wins the tap. It's in the middle of the ground at Jubilee Park. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going the way of the Blues. They beat first to the ball early.
And he is crucial, Playstead.
Playstead gave away the hand pass at a probing kick, heads towards centre half forward for the Blues. It's been in their attacking area for the last 5 minutes. Dribbling over the ball is Mohammed. Got the hand pass away. Here's a chance. They link up for O'Connell. It's outside 50. High ball in towards the pocket. It's a 3-on-1 contest. South Belgrave have the defenders back there to force the spoil. It's outside the attacking 50 for the Blues. Trying to dive on top of the football there and scooting around the pack is Bittle. Eventually it comes out to McNamara. Hand pass inboard to Hale. Tried to break through a wall. Did ride the tackle well. Got the hand pass back to McNamara. And he spots up a fantastic target all on his own. The uncontested mark is taken. And the recipient O'Connell can go back and shoot from 20 out directly in front.
Well, they are taking absolutely everything that South Belgrave are throwing at the moment. Physically, South Belgrave are throwing everything, and Waverley have been able to stand up in this first 10 minutes.
Well, he knows how to kick a goal. He's kicked 14 in a game this season, so he should be able to slot it.
That's right, he's kicked 34 for the season, the best for the Waverley Blues in that department, and his kick on goal has stuck through. Can you believe it? First blood to the Waverley Blues in the Division 3 Grand Final. They're 1-1-7. South Belgrave one behind, 12 and a half gone on the Eastland scoreboard.
And that's exactly what Bryce wanted. He wanted them to start well. He wanted them to get involved. And now the nerves are gone out now. Now the game's back in. It's a game of football. It's about playing the game of football. It's not as if it's a grand final. They're out there playing a quarter of football. And they've started well. They know they've been hit with everything and they've come up and scored. So they'll be feeling pretty confident at the moment, Waverley.
Well, Damo, you said, would you believe it? I think everybody out here can at the moment. There's another barge forward here. Brown out of the middle of the ground, up towards the half-forward line, overrunning the football, but nicely trapped there by Bretner. On the right boot, slams it on his boot. Got 35-40 metres, valuable meterage there, and over the boundary line she goes for a boundary throwing. Far side of Jubilee Park. We're on the cricket net side out here. The ground looks an absolute picture. There's a massive crowd in. Jacko and the gang are doing really well up in the barbecue. As the umpire brings it in, there was a free kick at the stoppage there. It'll go the way of the Waverley Blues here. That man, Daniel Playstead, who's really started strongly in these opening minutes, which is 14 minutes gone in the first term. And it's a one-goal lead to the Waverley Blues. They lead 1-1-7. South Belgrave one behind. The kick up towards the half-forward line now, but nobody was home. So South Belgrave had the numbers at the back of the pack there. Just need to probably slow things down a little bit and get it on their terms as the kick goes up towards the Odomac direction. Playstead was in the front of the fall. The ball there was Hawkins. Look away handball or thereabouts to Smith, who was an up and under kick. It might stay alive, almost pulling the mark down Turner. He got a bite on it and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Well, it's hot to trot, isn't it? EFL.org.au around the globe this afternoon. There's no doubt you're going to enjoy this broadcast if you're around the grounds at Footy EFL via Twitter. We need to be up to date with Premier Divisions 1 and 2 as South Belgrave a chance to go forward here now. Overrunning the pill that time there was Brown. Nicely picked up there by Hale, brought to ground in a gang tackle with Forbes and co, his teammate there in Yonkers, and we'll have a ball up across the half-forward line.
I mean, one of the things we talked about was the start that South Belgrave have had during the year. They've averaged 27 points in their first quarters so far this year. Grand finals are very, very different.
Meyer kicks towards the outer wing and it's forced over the line with a tap. True centre wing position out of sight as we tick over the halfway mark. The Waverley Blues lead by a kick.
Yeah, and they've been able to stop South Belgrave's run out of that half-back line.
I think they've also worked really hard around the contest.
Yes.
The tackling and physicality around the contest has been exceptional.
It's been evident, hasn't it? Playstep won the tap with a double fister, but at ground level, Brown picks it up for South Belgrave. Hands it over and the kick goes towards centre half forward. Odobat in the front spot. Just misread the flight of the ball on that occasion, and Benjamin takes a good defensive mark. Let's head around the grounds, Dan Sensick.
Quarter time in the Division 1 preliminary final between Croydon and Park Orchards. Croydon have the jump early 2-2-14 to Park Orchards, yet to score.
Playstead in the meantime marks outer side, just short of that true centre wing position. It's been effectual player for the Waverley Blues this season. High ball held up in the breeze, but it was well judged in the end, and the Blues can make another foray forward. They've become accustomed to that over the last 5 minutes. Kick towards left half forward. The spoiler's effective, but sharking the loose ball there was Brown. Kick towards the forward pocket. Mohammed went up with the mark, couldn't quite take it. It's forced over the line by Brown. The pleas for deliberate not forthcoming will have a ball in forward pocket for the Blues.
I mean, it's their forward line pressure too, which has been really impressive. Their ability to keep the ball in. South Belgrave haven't been able to rebound it easily.
Set in motion once again, Playstead won the tap over the back. No one was there though. Tap was affected by Brown with the tackle. Eventually a gang tackle is brought forward by Playstead. We'll have another bounce. Let's head around the grounds again. Dan Sensick.
25-minute mark in the Premier Division out at Bayswater Oval. Baldwin 14, trail Vermont 20.
It's going to be an interesting contest to follow all afternoon as Robertson wins the tap for the Saints and affects the tackle, roving his own ruck contest. And we'll have yet another stoppage deep inside the Blues 450.
And this is what Bryce would want. He'd want repeat forward entries, keep it in there, stop South Belgrave from scoring with the breeze.
They have locked it in. Robertson utilising his leap, got the hand pass out, but it was intercepted by Tabita for the Blues. His kick towards the last line is intercepted, and South Belgrave can clear on the half-back line. The tap, well, it was a bounce that was fickle for Brown. The kick goes inside 50. Evans couldn't quite take the mark. It bounced off his chest. Mohammed snapped towards goal. Oh, can you believe that? The Blues are up and about in the grand final. They're 2-1-13. South Belgrave 1 behind. What a fantastic goal. And Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender from Omar Mohammed.
Fantastic goal, and again it was that forward line pressure. And they allowed South Belgrave push the ball out wide. Unfortunate bounce for Smith, went over, but again forward line pressure, and that's a great snap for goal. And suddenly we've now got a situation. South Belgrave have got the breeze. They're 12 points down. They haven't been in this situation before. Do they, players on the ground, start to think a little bit differently, which is exactly what Waverley Blues would want.
Curtis will go up against Haddock there. A fresh air shot by both ruckmen. That time hitting the deck was Oliver Brown, and we'll have another ball up.
This is the key, having Curtis in the ruck, see if he can hold it, because Playstead's been dominant.
Little knock over the top there. That was okay there by Curtis. Quick kick out of the stoppage. It's travelled the required distance, so now here's a chance for Odermatt, whose kick was smothered off the boot. It's still in the middle here of Jubilee Park. The handball came out. Dispossessed of the football there was Billy Evans, and the ball hits the deck, and we'll have a ball up.
Again, that's a win for Waverley Blues, because they've got another contested ball. Got a stoppage. South Belgrave
around the grounds on the score centre. Sorry, Dave.
At Bayswater Oval in Premier Division, quarter time, Vermont 3-3-21 lead, Baldwin 2-2-14. Brett Eddy has 2.
Well, it's another chance for the Blues to go forward. They've got some momentum, don't they? McNamara, a little toe poke, picked up though by Costa. Got the handball out wide. Yeah, comes across that half back line now. And nicely done there by Milevicek. He got it out towards Yonkers, got the handball away in the nick of time, out towards Kidd. An up and under kick, it's gone the distance. Oh. Big fly there by Connolly, couldn't quite pull it down. Got a little toe poke on the football, goes after it again with a fresh air shot. Now a chance by the Blues. Bile goes inside forward 50. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Who's playing front and centre at this distance? Withers over around the pill, will have a ball up. It's 45 metres out from goal. Waverley's then, they lead by 2 straight kicks. We're almost into time on in the first quarter in the Division 3 grand final. There's been a free kick paid to Sam Withers though from that piece of play. I'm not sure if anyone else saw that there. LKLM Media might be able to put the replay up once again, but nonetheless it'll be Sam Withers having the 3rd genuine shot on goal for the Waverley Blues, and all of a sudden they could be leading by 3 goals early in this first term. So he comes in now. Sam Withers, you've got to back yourself in this instant. He starts it left, it stays there. Has it got the required distance? No. Oh, they've got the numbers though. Nicely done there by Costa on the right boot. Drives the ball out of that danger zone. Geesey got a fair bit of meterage on that one, but the strong man took the mark. Swings around now, up towards centre half forward. But there was nobody home. He was looking for his teammate there in Evans. Well, they've copped it up a little bit here, South Belgrave, as Liam Kidd goes after it, or is it a 25-metre penalty? It will be for running over the man on the mark. This is an exciting first term, Damien Watson.
Don't think anyone anticipated this start. The side from the Waverley Blues camp, they've acted on their confidence as Walls takes the mark 70 out from goal. and he revitalised South Belgrave out of their funk early in this game. His kick inside 50 is marked by a man who was featuring prominently in the first few minutes, Connolly. He can go back and shoot for South Belgrave's first major on the board.
Almost to say they really need to kick this goal here, South Belgrave, because they have been outplayed in this first quarter by Waverley Blues.
Yeah, look, they need to settle their nerves as well. I mean, they need to get a scoreboard pressure, and so far they haven't had any.
Brodie Codley has kicked 40 goals for the season. He'll be shooting from 40 metres out. It's gone off the side of the boot. He knew it as soon as it left the ball, and Odermatt taps it over the line. Minor score. South Belgrave 2 behinds. The Waverley Blues 2-1-13. 21 and a half gone first term on the Eastland scoreboard.
And that's the sign of nerves. He's had 2 kicks. 2 of them have been pretty average. He's tried to steer them.
Well, Smith, in the meantime, kicked it in. Looked for his intended target in Mohammed. It did come unstuck at the end. Intercepted by Bartels. Got the hand pass away. Quick kick towards the hot spot. The Blues have the numbers, but it's shot by Connolly. And Connolly's snap has gone across the face. Only a minor score. The Saints 3 behinds. Waverley 2-1-13. 22 gone first term Eastland scoreboard.
Miscommunication with the defensive Waverley then when they spoilt each other. I mean, the fact is that, you know, they're both wanting the footy, but they've got to communicate that.
Smith will be exercising caution in this defence.
So Smith on the right boot. Gained an extra 5 metres, kicked it out to the half back line. Big fly there by Hale in the middle. It could break open here if they can just trap the football. Withers tried to pick the ball up, but there to mop up the pieces was Walls there for South Belgrave as it comes out to Yonkers. Inside forward 50. It's a sloppy kick though. It was a mongrel punt. There was nobody home. And the mark has been taken back there by Smith, who will wind up on the right boot, kick it towards the broadcast side where the faithful standing. A big fly that time at the bottom of the pack there. The Saints go forward once again. Inside forward 50. Who's going to be the fall of ball? That's Lee Odermatt. He rode the tackle. Handball over the top, kick off the mid-air by Bartels. It was touched though. It might have gone out of bounds on the full, did it?
Yep, in the behind post.
It was like a knee onto the boot situation. And look, Dunko, as the kick goes out towards centre half back, and a good mark taken there by Jack Strongman. So a chance for the Blues just to stem the flow here.
Isn't that the best name? Jack Strongman.
It is the greatest, there's no doubt about that, as he kicks it up towards the place. Their direction, but over the back, a big fly. Bretner takes it on the second bite.
It's been good early for them.
Sensational mark. The kick didn't let him down, though, as he got it out towards his teammate there in Forbes, who wants to square things up a little bit, up towards the half-forward line. Pack will form at the bottom here on hands and knees. Nicely done there. Wide Withers got it away. Here's Milovic up towards the Odermatt direction. He got out-muscled that time, Lee. As the handball goes over the top, here's Hawkins in the back pocket. He can clear it out. It's a sausage roll out towards the half-back line. They've still got the numbers, though. Stein inside forward 50. Well, it's kick to kick out here at Jubilee Park at the moment as the kick goes back out towards that half-back line here for the Blues. Haddock barged his way through, bumped it on his boot inside forward 50. And in position, we'll call it luck, we'll call it on purpose, but nonetheless, Sam Brown will have the first shot on goal where we might think it could go through the big sticks for South Belgrave.
Yeah, O'Connell needed to work a lot better then. He and Playster were in prime position to take that mark. O'Connell didn't help his player out.
He's kicked 43 for the season, and he starts that wide, and it stays very, very wide, out of bounds on the full. A few Bronx cheers coming through. Eastland scoreboard, 25 minutes have almost ticked over in the Division 3 Grand Final, and it is the Waverley Blues leading by 10 points, 9 points I should say at the moment. 4 behind to South Belgrave. They've had more scoring shots than Waverley, who are 2-1-13.
So Strongman to bring it back into play for the Waverley Blues, who've absorbed the pressure that South Belgrave have applied on them in the last 5 minutes. Trying to break clear his Withers with the hand pass. Forced it out to Haddock. It was intercepted. The Waverley Blues pressure fantastic. O'Connell, who's kicked one already, kicks it towards half forward. Leading in the race for the ball is Bretner. Did well to find space in a tight situation. Got the hand pass out. Fell fortuitously to Risley. Back it comes to Bretner. Outside of the boot towards Brown in the wing position. It falls to ground. Codlin chips the pass towards the true centre wing position, and it's punched over the line right in front of the brethren at Jubilee Park. It's the Waverley Blues by 9 points, in fact 10 points on the Eastland scoreboard.
Taverner needs to work harder on Bretner, not allowing Bretner to run off the way he has at the moment.
So a ball in
Just rehashing those quarter-time scores, Baldwin and Vermont. It is Vermont leading by 7 points, while Croydon lead Park Orchards by 2 straight kicks. Park Orchards not scoring in the first term.
Pass comes out from McNamara. The Blues making a charge again at centre half forward. Hale takes it on the bounce. Manages to compose himself, kicks it towards the forward line. South Belgrave have the numbers. Trying to break clear is Costa. He's wrapped up in a crunching tackle. Got the hand pass out eventually. Holding the ball, says the umpire.
Yeah, that was
Enough
definitely
time.
there. Was definitely there. Tried to take it on. Contest on. He got caught.
And James Taberner effected the tackle, and he can go back and shoot for the Blues' third goal and give them a 16-point buffer.
And that's what he needed to do. He needed to get himself involved in the game, and being able to do that is a prime way. And now he goes back. If he hits the scoreboard, suddenly that puts some real pressure back onto South Belgrave.
It's a gettable shot. James Taberner will be kicking from 45 metres out, almost directly in front. This can capitalise on the momentum the Blues have. Shot on its way. It's to the left as the siren sounds for quarter time. A fruitful quarter for the Waverley Blues in the Division 3 Grand Final. Waverley 2-2-14 leads South Belgrave 3 behind.
Jay O'Connell has the first goal and Omar Mohammed the second. What a game, what a fierce start by both sides today in the Division 3 Grand Final.
Penelope Knight down there with thanks to car sales. We'll hear from Tyson Popplestone very shortly, who is at the South Belgrave huddle. A lot to contend with as we start the second term. The rain tumbling down at Jubilee Park as a tap is won for the Blues by Curtis. Driving over the football is Turner, who's had a very good season in 2019. Gang tackled. In the middle there is Risley. It will have a secondary bounce.
Boundary.
Let's hear boundary side to Tyson Popplestone.
I tell you what, frustration, stress and anger was the message, I reckon, at South Belgrave. It was a scary place to be, a quiet place to be, surprisingly. Hopefully they can find something this quarter.
Well, they're deep inside the defensive 50 here, the Waverley Blues. They've defended well to the hilt, and the mark's taken at centre half back by Turner. And they'll look to recalibrate after the quarter-time break. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensick at the score centre.
Yeah, during the second term out at the preliminary final in Division 2, Mitcham have the jump. They're 4-3-27, leading Baronia 1-3-9.
Well, interesting results coming through. Keep us up to date at Footy EFL on Twitter. As we have a ball in, the rain pelting down at Jubilee Park. True centre weak position in front of the main grandstand. Tap one by Curtis for the Waverley Blues. It was ineffectual at the end as the Saints win the clearance from that contest. Driving it forward is Yonkers, who's been named the best consistently so far this season. Connolly was ridden into the back. He'll receive the free kick 70 out from home. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensick.
9-minute mark, second term out at Bayswater Oval in Premier Division. Vermont 4-6-30, lead Baldwin 2-3-15. Pouring rain out there.
Indeed, pouring rain here as Odermatt takes a fantastic mark considering the conditions on the second bite. He can go back and shoot for South Belgrave's first goal, 30 out directly in front.
Yeah, look, and I think they were disappointed with the Waverley Blues defence. That was too easy to be able to take that mark at that stage. But that was a good mark, and let's see if he can capitalise.
The tattooed Lee Odermatt averages over 4 goals a game this season. He shoots towards goal. Can he kickstart South Belgrave? No, he can't. Minus score. South Belgrave 4 behind. The Waverley Blues 2-2-14. 2 gone. Second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, there's umbrellas up that are getting blown inside out at the moment, so it's wild and woolly conditions out there.
Yeah, Mary Poppins style, there's no doubt about that. As Smith with the kick in, it goes out to the wing position, nicely knocked on there by Twycross. He'll get another go at it after the wrong and bounce. His equal number there, and Costa was there. Out wide they go. The Blues a chance to go forward, a scrambling kick up towards the half-forward line. It was taken there by the skipper there in Liam Kidd on the left boot, drives it and drives it wide. He'll be disappointed about that, the captain. Over the boundary line, it goes and out of bounds on the full.
They just can't find any rhythm at the moment here. South Belgrave, under pressure every possession they take.
That'll be Benny Turner right underneath that Eastland scoreboard, which shows a 10-point lead here to the Waverley Blues just at the start of the second quarter as Connolly on the left boot wants to switch the play here. It's a good kick also. So here's Aidan Kidd, brother of Liam, up towards the half-forward line, bouncing football. They've got some space. Bartels had the poise, had the class. Looping handball over the top, spotted up Kidd on the right boot in towards the forward pocket. He needs a favourable bounce. Charging after it there was Brown. Well done there by the Blues to force the pressure. Crunch there was Taylor Withers. That was fantastic stuff. Over the boundary line, it goes for a boundary throw-in.
I can see the South Belgrave with a bit more urgency in what they're doing. So, if Waverley can hold them off, they'll be pretty good for this stage.
So it was Haddock in the front spot there through the legs of Timmy Risley on hands and knees, tries to get himself out of danger. He can't. He'll have a ball up.
That's been the difference. They just haven't been able to get any hands out of clearances at this stage.
Back in motion once again. Risley was on a swing on that occasion, pulled up by the two arms as trying to break through as Miles for the Waverley Blues. It's intercepted. South Belgrave have a chance now as a hand pass is received from Kidd of the aided variety. Gives it to his brother Liam. His hand pass was blind and intercepted by McNamara. His chip pass was really a nothing kick, but it did find the target at the end in Benny Turner, who could reload from the left half back position. Turner wheels onto the right foot, kicks it high towards the true centre wing area. Flying high for the mark was Hale, couldn't quite bring it down. Could be hailing soon if these conditions are anything to go by. Costa got the hand pass away, but it's intercepted, and the Blues on the counter attack look towards placed it at left half forward. He's fell to the ground, no free kick. We'll have a ball in right on the 50 for the Waverley Blues.
Oh, nicely taken there by Luke Galliot, the senior coach of the South Belgrave Football Club, showing his boys just how to do it.
He probably wish he was out there at the moment to actually show them how it's done exactly.
Playstead will go up against Haddock. Haddock got a left hand on at that time. Kick was smothered from the stoppage. It's still alive across the half-forward line for the Blues. They'll get a chance to reload here. Swinging around there was Rufus on the right boot inside forward 50. Timely fist by Playstead at the fall of the ball. Mike Smith got the looping handle away. Oh, Milovic, he'll get the old one too, but it was intercepted nicely there by Coughlin on the right boot. Up towards the half-forward line. Very well done. The Blues, they've got the steady. The kick goes inside forward 50. Was a scrappy one though. Charging after it there was Burley, got dispossessed. Stolen by Twicos. Twicos through the top beauty. Well, your class prevails, doesn't it? The pressure, that forward pressure that was so imminent and so evident during that first term. It's still alive in the second term. The Waverley Blues, they're the only ones that have kicked a goal so far in this Division 3 Grand Final. What a fantastic goal there by Jake Twicos. Eastland scoreboard 3-2-20 the Blues, 4 behind South Belgrave.
They look a little bit, I'm looking around at the body language of South Belgrave. They're a little bit nonplussed at the moment. They can't see where this has come from, and at the moment they're making decisions they normally wouldn't do, which is exactly what Waverley Blues needed to get into their heads.
Well, it was goal number 23 for Jake, and then also a contender for the Tobin brothers goal of the day. What can the Saints do? They need something. They need a spark. They need some luck, as the umpire will ball this up across centre half forward.
But such as the pressure, some of the handballs at South Belgrave are very ambitious.
Certainly in these conditions as well. Can't afford to be too cute. As Haddock wins the tap for South Belgrave. It's at centre half forward, but again cleared by Coughlin for the Blues. Sends a high ball into the centre of the ground. The Saints have the numbers. The bounce is obliging for Smith. Onto the left foot, he kicks it towards the centre weak position, and the mark taken out in front by Risley. The big players need to lift for the Saints. Onto the right foot, he wheels across and kicks inside 50. Speaking of big players, Odermatt takes the mark, and he can impose himself from 45 out on an acute angle.
This is a tough kick. This was nearly kicking straight into the breeze from where he is at the moment. So he's going to need to kick this at least 50.
Has kicked 73 for the season. Not too many more important shots in 2019. It reaches the goal line. It should be rushed through here. The Blues defence resolute, and only a minor score. South Belgrave 5 behind. Waverley 3-2-20. 7 gone. Second term Eastland scoreboard. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensi.
In Division 1, Croydon 5-3-33 leading Park Orchards yet to score. And in Premier Division, Vermont 4-6-30 and Baldwin 2-3-15.
Great stuff. Good scores coming through all afternoon. 5 behinds. It's 5 scoring shots apiece, but there's a 15-point margin going the way of the Blues. Odermatt gets another go at it, dumps it on his booty towards the forward pocket. Will it stay alive? It will not. Over it goes for a boundary throw in.
Well, they need more than just Odermatt getting the football in the forward 50. At the moment, none of the other forwards have been able to have any influence at all on the game.
Connolly's touched it a few times, it's butchered it.
Playstead worked himself to the front there. Had some support at ground level too, so that was good ruck work. Kick goes out. That danger zone underneath the ball, though, was Darcy Walls, who takes the mark. He'll wind around now on the right boot. Square things up. Inside forward 50. Odermatt was a flyer over the back. The ball comes to ground level. Quick kick out of that danger zone. Is it going to be paid a mark there by Kidd? It might have been touched as he slams it on his boot. Inside forward 50. Over the shoulder that time. We all saw it. Everyone saw it. Jimmy Coughlin happy to receive the free kick there. Pokes it out wide, made the big man Playstead work hard for it there. But he had the time just to then put it on his boot, but it was a shocker. So they mucked it up a bit there, the Waverley Blues, trying to get it out of that defensive zone. And we'll have a boundary throw in, which is just inside their arc, around the grounds. Dan Sensic.
In Premier Division, second term, 17-minute mark. Vermont 4-6-30, Baldwin 3-3-21. The rain stopped, but it's still pretty windy out there.
It was a shallow throw in that time. Robertson had the front spot. Mohammed was in there, kicked a great goal in the first term. South Belgrave go forward. They push it wide out of bounds on the full. Can't take a trick at the moment.
And they're not lowering their eyes. They're just, it's like they're desperate to kick a goal and they're just trying to anything.
Benjamin from the right back pocket position, looks out wide towards the outer wing. Numbers favour the Blues, placed it in front, couldn't take the mark. It's spoiled from his grasp, and we'll have a ball in outer side. Dan Sensic around the grounds.
18 points the margin in the Division 2 preliminary final. Mitcham 5-3-33, leading Baronia 2-3-15.
It's an absorbing and intriguing game, isn't it? Keep those scores coming at Footy EFL. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. SEN3 and also streaming live at efl.org.au and simulcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM. We're set in motion once again. Tap one by Haddock for South Belgrave, who's been reasonable in the ruck, and it's forced over the line once again, half-forward line for the Blues.
You know, at the moment, Waverley Blues will be happy with this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just hitting it down through the boundary the whole time.
55 out from the South Belgrave goal. Playstead and Haddock contesting once again. The rain seems to have dissipated a little bit. Haddock nudged his opponent out of the way, but the Blues trying to effect a clearance here. The high ball doesn't gain much meterage on the outer side, and South Belgrave have the numbers. Wolves tried to effect a hand pass. It was partially smothered. A turnover at Shoes. The Blues trying to work it through the corridor. Twycross is wrapped up in a big tackle. Affected there by Connolly. Will have a bounce 70 out from the Saints goal.
They had 4 players there at the scrimmage or at the stoppage there, South Belgrave. Both of them went into each other and then nothing happened.
So, Pye throws it up. Haddock got it out. Little handball over the top there by Kidd. That was by the Aiden variety. Good tackle. Kidd goes after it again. Needs to release the football. Pye said it was okay. Strong tackle there that time by Sam Withers, and we'll do it all again.
Sometimes when you play teams and you're able to win really, really easily, you can do the fancy over the head handballs and they all come off. But when you're under a lot of pressure, you try to go back to that and they're just not coming off today.
Well, Billy Evans got a fair bit of purchase on the footy that time, kicked it out wide, it went out of bounds on the full, so it'll be Jack Retner to bring the ball up the wing position here for the South Belgrave Saints. Charging after it there was Coughlin, goes after it again. You had to have Darcy Walls there in contention, and over she goes right underneath the Eastland scoreboard. It's a 15-point margin to the Blues, 3-2-20. South Belgrave 5 behind. Stan Sensic around the grounds.
Second term in Premier Division at Bayswater Oval. Vermont 30, Baldwin 22.
He's going to throw it in now. Robertson almost looked like he was maybe held there. Miles got the quick handball away. He was looking for Brown, who got rid of the football, but will have another stoppage.
Sun's out all of a sudden.
Well, I don't know at all. We've had a year so far with South Belgrave not kicking a goal at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, it was their first time all year going goalless in a term as well. The kick goes towards Odermatt at the fall. The ball, this might work out okay for them. Brown kicks it towards the top of the goal square, but a strong they're taken there by Benjamin. Didn't even hear a whistle there. He spun on a throop and kicked it out of bounds on the full. Chance to reload here for the Saints, 60 out.
I think it was smothered off the boot. That's why they didn't, or was touched off the boot. That's why they didn't pay.
They need to go to the top of the square here.
Well, they're poking it towards the forward pocket. It goes towards the Odermatt direction again. At the back, Benjamin got taken away. Here's Odermatt. Will this be advantage paid? The umpire did say it was advantage at that stage. It could have been a high tackle there on Connolly, and I think it might have been paid as well. So Connolly, it was there, and they'll consider themselves probably a little bit lucky there too, South Belgrave, but he'll go back and have a shot from about 20 metres out. He must kick the goal. He comes in now, 40 for the year. Got to make it 41. He's pushed it to the right-hand side. The sunshine's come out, but there's no lollipops for South Belgrave out here at Jubilee Park. They've kicked 6 behind so far in the Division 3 Grand Final. They trail by 14 points. The Waverley Blues, 3-2-20.
It's their boundary side with thanks to car sales. Tyson Poppers.
Hey, there's a real strut in the step of the Waverley Blues out here. I'm not sure if they're winning because they're strutting or strutting because they're winning, but they look really good.
Yep, sun's out, guns out as they work it across the grandstand wing here. The Waverley Blues kick towards the true centre wing position, flying over the top. No mark paid to Miles, and eventually it falls over the line in front of Bretner. We'll have a ball in front of the Bronx. Cheers from the crowd, probably from the Blues section. So Waverley on the Eastland scoreboard lead it by 14 points. It's been an intriguing matchup so far. South Belgrave, a reminder, undefeated to this point in the season with a percentage of almost 400. Trying to dive over the football there. Robertson, hand pass shoveled out in the direction there of Aidan Kidd. He eventually tried to latch onto it. Kick across the body from Robertson, ineffectual. It's on the true centre wing position. Good smother affected again, and the hand pass comes out from Forbes. Really, the ball's still a dispute. No clean disposal away from the pack. It's been that sort of contest. The tackle affected by Evans, and the umpire will come in and blow the whistle and bounce it.
Both teams have got a loose in defence at the moment, but they're not being used.
Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensick at the score centre.
Half-time in the Division 1 preliminary final. Croydon 5-3-33, Park Orchards 1-3-9.
Risley's kick towards half forward. Good mark on the chest from Connolly. Imposed himself physically. Looks in the Odermatt direction. One-on-one takes the mark. And he can go back and hopefully for South Belgrave's sake shoot for their first major of the afternoon directly in front, 20 out.
Well, they're the two names we've heard, Connolly and Odermatt.
And that's it.
No other names, but they are having an influence at the moment.
Lee Odermatt be shooting for his 74th goal for the season.
Lock it in, David.
Don't put the moz on him. He's 20 metres out directly in front. Onto the left foot. Swings it towards goal and he's put it through. Finally, South Belgrave on the board with a major. They're 1-6-12, trailing the Waverley Blues 3-2-20, halfway through the second term in the Division 3 grand final on the Eastland scoreboard.
Look, South Belgrave will be looking at the fact and say we've played really poorly. We've not had any fluency, but we're only 8 points behind and we've had 7 shots at goal. So they'll be looking at the positives there. Waverley Blues have got to not stop now. They've got to continue to work hard, continue to push. They need to now get another goal. They need to get a goal now.
Certainly been peppering, haven't they, the Saints in the last 10 minutes or so. The kids are enjoying it outside the van as Turner from the middle of the ground thumps the ball inside forward 50 at the full there. They've got the numbers, the Blues snap around the body. It's going to be stay alive, is it? Is it? Medal takes off. He's going to kick a goal, does he? No, he's kicked the post. He's hit the post. What's happened here? I tell you what, both umpires chatting to one another. We'll have another look at that. I don't know what happened there. He's taken off, he's running, and he has he's hit the post. Dan Sensick around the grounds. Oh my God.
Well, out at Bayswater Oval, Jake Best has been taken off the ground with a concussion. 25-minute mark, second term. Vermont 4-7-31, Baldwin 3-4-22.
Walls from the kick in. Found the big man Haddock on the right boot. Looked centre, then switched it out wide. It was a smart kick too, right underneath the Eastland scoreboard. It's a 9-point ball game. The Waverley Blues lead it at the moment. Odermatt, isn't he standing up on the left boot? Kicks it inside forward 50. That was a very good kick as well. He popped it up nice for Brad Carroll, who came out and took it unopposed. You'll have a shot from just inside the arc.
Yeah, that could be a crucial turnaround with Nia running, Meyer running straight. How did he hit the post? I don't understand how he hit the post from there.
I actually thought the ball was out on the floor.
Carroll for South Belgrave to get them back to within 3 points. He comes in now, hasn't kicked a lot of goals this season, but he thumps the ball and magnificent kick that was. Gun barrel straight over the goal umpire's head, and it's back to game on out here at Jubilee Park. We've hit 17 and a half minutes in the second term of the Division 3 grand final. It's 3 points the margin, 2-6-18 South Belgrave. The Waverley Blues still hold sway, 3-3-21. Amazing first half of footy we're seeing so far.
Yes, and the scary bit then was that they were able to go coast to coast then, and they had clearance the entire way. Players got out on their own and got loose. Waverley Blues just tightened up a little bit.
Starting to show a bit more poise too, South Belgrave.
The Blues players trudge back to the middle. Carroll kicks a morale-boosting goal for South Belgrave, and it shows now as Kidd wins the clearance for the Saints. Sends a probing ball to the top of the goal square. Odermatt in the key position. Couldn't quite take the mark. Roving the football is Withers. Wrapped up there is Brown, and the gang tackle will have a bounce 20 out for the Saints goal. So they're pressing in the last few minutes. South Belgrave trying to capitalise on their momentum here. Trailing by 3 points on the Eastland scoreboard. Connolly Didn't quite win the ruck contest. Kidd roved it well of the Liam variety. Hands it back to Risley. They're 40 out from goal. Back it comes to Kidd. Snap around the corner. Face to the right and only a minor score. So South Belgrave 2-7-19 trail the Waverley Blues 3-3-21. 18 and a half gone second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
They got some ball. They're starting to get their hands clear now at the moment, South Belgrave.
So it'll be Smith, brings the ball out towards the middle of the ground where Odermatt once again takes a mark. He's taken a fair few grabs so far in this first half. He's going to kick it to the hot spot. It's the way to go. It had good weight on it that time. Stolen there by Brown. He got dispossessed. They're desperate, the Waverley Blues defenders. Hawkins, he couldn't quite trap it. Going after it again. Had some support there by Benjamin. Paint's going to beat the players here. Over she goes for a boundary throw in.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Odermatt, he would have taken 8 or 9 or so marks already today. He's been a one-man team down that forward line, so they've got to lock him down. He's been their key target the entire time.
Vile will go up in the front spot against Connolly. He'll come over the back. Big fist there by Vile. That worked out well there for the Blues. Kick was smothered though. Still alive in the forward pocket. Will it come out? Taken by Brown, who just did a little pirouette. Will he receive the free kick? No, you will give one away. I think that was Mike Smith, in fact, that time, as dropped the football. So a chance now for Simon Hawkins on the right boot out to Playstead, who just dominated the first term and has sort of gone missing a little bit here in the second, but he's standing up now. Just taking his time. Far side of Jubilee Park. Kicks it up towards the Eastland scoreboard. Up towards the wing position. It was a 3-on-1 situation. The Saints had the numbers there. But I tell you what, the Blues will take that every single day of the week as we'll have a ball up. Let's go to Dan Sensick around the grounds.
Half-time in Premier Division, Baldwin 4-4-28, trail Vermont 5-7-37.
I like how you start with the trail to give Brush a heart attack as it comes out. Kidd on the left boot up towards the wing position and out of bounds it goes on the full. A chance now through Wes Smith to restart.
Breeze certainly fickle in this game. It's having an effect. Smith chips it towards true centre wing. South Belgrave have the numbers. It was a nothing kick at the end as Liam Kidd chops it off with an uncontested mark. Set around the grounds, Dan Sensick.
Division 2 preliminary final, half-time, Mitcham 5-3-33, lead Baronia 2-3-15.
Still a chance for a comeback though for Baronia as Kidd kicks it towards it left half forward. Odermatt flew high, couldn't take the mark at ground level. Reading the play well as Benjamin, who's been the stalwart in defence. Taverner kicked it round the body but intercepted, and the Saints can make another foray forward, about 60 to 70 metres out from goal, almost in the true centre wing position. Probing kick. Looks inside the 50, uncontested at the end. Good mark.
Who do you reckon
man,
it is?
Lee Odermatt. Players off the hand pass, gives it to his teammate in Carroll, who's kicked one already. Can he make it a second? No, it's bounced into the goalpost. Minor score and whittles the margin back to 1 point. It's South Belgrave 2-8-20, trailing the Waverley Blues 3-3-21. 21 and a half gone second term Eastland scoreboard.
Well, he's the man they've got to stop. They've got to make a change and stop Odermatt from taking the marks that he's just influencing the game too much at the moment.
It's a 1 point ball game. To time on here in the second term, out across the half back line. The Saints, they've really upped the ante here in this second term, haven't they? Robertson, he'll go for got the handball out. Now it's Costa, slams it on his boot. It was touched, it was stolen there by Brown, got the handball away in the nick of time. Hawkins slammed it on his boot up towards the wing position. Big fly there, over there by Bretner at ground level. Nicely picked up by Risley, who just barged his way through. Simon Hawkins was there to create the stoppage. And we will have a ball up, centre half forward. For the Saints, get the feeling their noses might be in front in not too far away. From the stoppage, it'll be a free kick to South Belgrave, going the way of the bid man, Ben Haddock.
You're starting to win those 50-50s here.
One sock up, one sock down. Game of Thrones at your heart out as a kick towards the Odermatt direction. He got a bite on it. The fall ball Kidd got it away. Here's Risley. Risley to finish. Risley does finish. South Belgrave hit the front for the first time in the Division 3 Grand Final. It took them 23 minutes into the second term to do so, but they lead by 5 points. 3-8-26. The Waverley Blues 3-3-21.
Well, the key thing is, and look, sometimes it's really difficult. Playstead has got to be in the ruck. He's got to stay in the ruck the whole time. Can't afford to change it because every time he goes out of the ruck, they start to get on top around the contest. And I know he's gone back in there again, but he really needs to stay in the ruck to allow Haddock not to have any influence.
It's taken 23 minutes into the second term, but South Belgrave have hit the front in the Division 3 Grand Final, and again they win the clearance through the goal kicker in Risley. Spearing ball to centre half forward, hits the target on the chest in Sam Brown. He can go back from just outside the 50.
He'll have a shot.
It's probably right on his range at this point, almost directly in front.
Well, you can see why Risley won a contest and fairest. His ability just out of the middle has been extraordinary in the last 5 minutes.
To extend the South Belgrave lead, Brown wheels onto the left foot, sends it goalward. It won't quite make the distance. It's pushed to the right. Fisted through minor score. So South Belgrave 3-9-27 lead the Waverley Blues 3-3-21. 24 minutes gone, second term on the Eastland scoreboard.
Boundary.
That's their boundary side with thanks to car sales. Penelope Knight.
Look, the intensity in the first quarter was obviously quite intense, but it feels like towards the end here, Waverley Blues have probably just petered off a little bit, and South Belgrave are really taking advantage of their opportunity.
Well, they might have coughed it up here. Liam Kidd from the stoppage, kicks it back towards the top of the goal square. It sits up. Kurt Benjamin underneath it, takes the mark. Sorry to cut you off there, Penn. It was hot to trot there as he runs off now. Kicks it out towards the half-back line. Nicely done. Odermatt just took it from the contest. Winds around the ball. It took forever in the end. Connolly kept it alive. The Blues, they're under a lot of pressure. The forward pressure from the Saints in this term was equal to the Waverley Blues in the first. Handball comes out now. Here's McNamara looped up. They've got to hit a target and slow things down maybe a little bit. It was a one-on-one contest there. Nicely done by Burley at the fall of the ball. Strong tackle there by Mohammed. It goes after it again. Good effort by Kidd. That time by the Aiden variety. It scoots out wide. Here's Forbes on the right boot. Sends the ball inside forward 50. The pack does form. Trying to claim the mark. You can't be serious. That is not a mark. That is daylight robbery if ever I've seen it. Swinging around now, Connolly on the boot into Odermatt, who gets down low. He's a good cricketer. He can get down and take those catches, and he'll have a shot on goal. But that was a gift there across the half-forward line for South Belgrave.
They'll take it, and the last 10 minutes has belonged to South Belgrave. They have really upped the ante here, and they're asking questions now of Waverley Blues.
Certainly been the player of the first half has Lee Odermatt. He leans over it and slams it into the pine. So another missed opportunity for the South Belgrave Saints. 13 scoring shots to 6 at the moment, so they've over doubled the amount of scoring shots to the Waverley Blues, but they only lead by 7, 28-21. We've gone 26 in the second.
They wouldn't want a North Melbourne 1998 performance for inaccuracy as the Blues kick it towards centre half back. Play step flew high, couldn't take the mark. High ball is affected towards the top of the square. Flying high, Brown couldn't take the mark. Odermatt affects the tackle. It was too high according to the umpire, and Evans, in fact it's Strongman who will be the recipient. Deep across that defensive post as Benjamin receives the hand pass. His kick intercepted. It was a poor one and a mark taken by Smith right on the 50. He can go back and shoot from 52 out almost directly in front for the Saints.
Well, if you're going to switch across ground or you're going to go through the middle, you've got to hit your target. Cannot afford to kick it just wildly like that.
One of my all-time favourites.
So Michael Smith will wheel onto the left foot, sends a probing ball goalwards. Has it got the carry? Has it got the carry? No, it doesn't. Goal umpire signals touch. So South Belgrave 3-11-29 lead the Waverley Blues 3-3-21, approaching half-time on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, they've kicked 3-7 this quarter to 1 goal.
3-8.
3-8 to 1 goal.
So Wes Smith, who will have a sore right boot for the amount of behinds that South Belgrave's been kicking in this first half. Kicks it out towards the playset direction. Wynn got hold of it. Liam Kidd snaps around the body. Top of the goal square, Styles, but there was nobody home that time, and the Waverley Blues will the Brethren, who's out to the right of us, breathe a sigh of relief. So Kurt Benjamin on the right boot. Just got to weigh up the options. They're just not hitting the targets, are they, at all? Out towards Dimmy Rufus, who sees it over and out of bounds.
Liam Kidd's been good this quarter as well. Really got him turning onto that left all the time. He's been left alone too, which is the other thing. Is that I think they've just gone away from their structure in the first quarter that they had, Waverley.
Front spot, Vile knocked it down. Ollie Brown slammed it down the throat of Michael Smith's throat, though, for the Saints. Chance to reload. Up and under kick. Got every bit of 40 metres. Oda was the Odermatt direction. He was a flyer at the back. Who's going to win at ground level? Nice little handball over the top there by Evans. They've done it right here, the Blues. Miles on the left boot. Out of that danger zone once again. Another mark by Mike Smith. No, the umpire called play on that time. A little bit stiff, I would have thought. Over she goes for a boundary throw in.
Don't worry about it, Mike.
He's one of the players that needs to get back into it, is Billy Evans.
Yeah.
He has not had any influence on the contest this quarter.
So Haddock and Playstead. Battle of the big men. Over the back it goes. That time Haddock had to rove his own football. The Blues picked up nicely there by Evans. Speak of the devil, they've linked up in handballs, but no one's going anywhere. Strong tackle by Kidd. The skipper leading the charge there, bringing Twycross to ground, and we'll have a ball up. True centre wing position out here at Jubilee. It's an 8-point lead to the Saints.
Ball set in motion once again. Tap one by Playstead over the back of Haddock. Smith, he's been instrumental in the last 5 minutes. Tapped it away to the advantage of Aiden Kidd. Couldn't quite gain clean possession. In goes Brown once again. And in fact, it was Smith deep in the burrowing pack. And ball up on the outer wing, the true centre wing position at Jubilee Park. So that marks the half-time siren. It's been an intriguing first half. South Belgrave recovering in the second term, albeit inaccurately, and they lead by 8 points at the major break of the Division 3 Eastern Football League Grand Final. South Belgrave 3-11-29 over the Waverley Blues 3-3-21. Just about to resume the second half of the Division 3 Grand Final of the Eastern Football League, and it's South Belgrave with an 8-point lead over the Waverley Blues. South Belgrave, a reminder, undefeated and top of the table coming into this game. They were seen as the outright favourites. The Waverley Blues stuck into the finals, but they've displayed some great pressurely intensified football so far in this contest, and they forced a contest as we start the third term of the Division 3 Grand Final. Rucks go at it, and the man who's been prominent in the ruck so far, Haddock, wins it out of the centre for South Belgrave. They certainly did gain some momentum towards the back end of that second term, but the kick is chopped off and the Blues can clear from centre half back. Kick towards a true centre wing position. It's a 2-on-2 contest. In front, Rufus forced it to ground with a tap. In and under was Coughlin, who's had a magnificent season for the Waverley Blues. The chain of hand passes, but no direction as Tabata is wrapped up in a tackle from Kidd and will have a bounce true centre wing position.
Just 1-2 handballs, too many then, and needed to get his foot on the football then.
Let's head around the grounds, Dan Sensic.
Third term in the Premier Division, 10 minutes gone. Vermont 5-8-38 ball and 4-5-29. 16-minute mark, third term in Division 1 prelim final. Croydon 6-3-39, Park Orchards 1-4-10.
Well, Picaro affected a tackle. It's 70 metres around from the goal for South Belgrave, kicking towards the northern end or the cricket net's end of this third term. Neither ruckman won the tap. Haddock was forced to ground, and the Blues have the numbers. They can work it forward through a chain of hand passes. Withers had a touch of the fumbles, was forced to ground level. Hawkins affecting the tackle, and eventually we'll have a bounce right in front of our broadcast position between half-forward and centre wing for the Saints.
Well done there by Withers.
He's been an interesting player. He's lightly built, but he has an effect, doesn't he? So set in motion once again, and Curtis will see it over the line, so we'll have a throw in. Liam Kidd right in the thick of the action, as he has been since quarter time and all season long. Former Box Hill player back in the day too.
Yes.
Sort of feel that Waverley Blues need to score 2 or 3 goals this quarter.
Almost 2 minutes in, the Blues need to regain the advantage they had and the ascendancy they possessed in the first term as the ball trundles towards the centre wing position along the boundary line. Mohammed has kicked a goal already in this game, forced the hand pass back. The tackle is affected there on Miles of the Waverley Blues. The umpire will call for a stoppage, true centre wing.
That's twice that Billy Evans has handballed to a player that's not been able to get a clearance. He needs to take the game on himself a little bit more, Billy.
Good crowd in attendance at Jubilee Park as Haddock won the tap again for the Saints. He's lifted in that area as Hawkins is forced over the line in front of the Waverley Blues bench. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast by SEM3 this afternoon. Simulcast on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern and, of course, streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. Hand pass comes out and was intercepted. That was Withers trying to effect it forward. The Blues at centre wing through Twycross, who's had an interesting season, an effective one. Hawkins trying to break his way through. Eventually it comes out. Codlin bundled it out with the hand pass, and they find space through Miles, who kicks it towards half forward, and eventually some clear daylight. Playstead handed it off to Twycross. He was in a precarious position, but found it back to Playstead, who kicks it inside 50. The Flyers contest. O'Connell couldn't quite take the mark. He kicked a goal the first term, but the Saints' numbers proving far too much.
So Risley got the old 1-2, snapped around the body up towards the wing position. Big fly there by Simon Hawkins, takes the mark right in front of the Waverley Blues brethren. Well, Casey might have strolled on down at half-time, given his boys a riding with a chance. Playstead dropped what he probably should have taken. The Saints with the numbers. Snapped this time there by Breckner. Around the body he goes, but nobody was home. Curtis, the big man, got the handball away just in the nick of time. Withers this way, that way, got the handball backwards. Here's Smith on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line. It went wide, but it stayed true. And a strong mark has been taken by Muhammad, who kicked a goal down this very end, down this side as well. Muhammad on the right boot, pokes it towards the top of the goal square. Styles there. Evans at the full, did really well. Evans got it to Playstead, had to ride the tackle. They're trying to work themselves out of a phone booth here. Strong tackle maybe in the back there. Withers, Taylor Withers, he was safe there over the top of Jakey Wycross, and we'll have a ball up. We'll go down boundary side shortly, but it's a hot footy, 25 metres out from the Waverley Blues goal. Haddock took it out of the stoppage. Kick was smothered. Mike Smith hits the deck. He just threw it out the back, rugby union style. Charging through there was Risley. He got out of danger in towards the middle of the ground. Nicely done there on the right boot. The kick by Smith goes inside, but Timmy Risley is just taking everything before him at the moment. Another possession for him. Let's go down to Tyson Popplestone, boundary side, thanks to car sales.
South Belgrave got their ball in the hand at the moment, but I reckon Waverley Blues have hit reset beautifully for this second half. They've come out firing. They look like they're here to play a big second half.
So Brown, he's across the half back line. He's kicked 43 goals for the year. He's not amongst it yet today as the kick goes forward. This time by Withers. Top of the goal square stuff. That is how you do it. Leroy Odermatt slams it through. That's his second of the afternoon. 75 for the season. The first multiple goal kicker on the day. And they extend their lead out to 14 points as we cross the 5-minute mark of the third term.
Davo, that was exactly what I said. Their half-back line pushed too far up into the midfield and they got caught on the turnover there.
I think it's an incorrect matchup. I don't think he's got the speed to go with Odermatt, and Odermatt led him up the ground by 30 or 40 metres and then turned him around and ran all the way back in the goal square. He was 25 metres away from him then trying to catch up. So I thought Benny Vile would be the one that I'd be having down on Odermatt. He's got the height, he can run, he can kick long. I think they've got to find an answer to stop him because he's just becoming the player that's influential. Risley's the other player, just getting too much of the football around the contest. So Billy Evans needs to stand up and take the game on and show him something because at the moment, ineffectual handballs, he's probably had 4 or 5 this quarter.
Back in the middle, South Belgrave with a 14-point buffer early in this third term. Playstead trying to get his side going for the Blues. Tapped it, was worthy of a kick towards centre half forward. Good tackle applied by Rufus, but in the end, the South Belgrave numbers prevailing. The kick by Kidd towards the centre wing position. Bartels over the football. Now they have the numbers and space as the kick goes inside 50. Out the back, almost a mark there to Porcaro.
Nice.
Tries to wheel around onto the right foot. Steps it towards goal. Pop yourself up, Porcaro. He's kicked the goal. That's his 22nd of the season. South Belgrave now with the momentum. 5-11-41. The Waverley Blues 3-3-21. 6.5 gone third term on the Eastland scoreboard. That's a morale booster.
I said that they had to kick. I said that if they got Waverley Blues needed to kick the first 2 goals, they've gone to South Belgrave. Now momentum is all their way. 20 points up. Waverley Blues are going to have to dig deep now. They're going to find 4 goals. Where are they going to find them from?
Well, look, I just watched Odermatt then. He took his defender 60 metres down the ground, turned him around and left him there because then the defender couldn't get back and help out. It was really clever forward craft.
So in the middle once again, here's Liam Kidd on the left boot, scrambling kick, but it might bounce favourably for them. They're full of run at the moment, the Saints, aren't they? Across the half forward line, little Tiggy Touchwood nudge, but Bartels just takes the free kick. He might have gone on with it there, but he's just going to slow things down a little bit. A little bit indecisive, but he'll poke it towards the forward pocket. He'll go towards the Odermatt direction. The big Jukes, he takes the mark. The umpire said it wasn't paid. That's a daylight robbery as you've seen. That was a throwaway as well. Risley, hands and knees, gets a handball away. Couldn't get it to Kidd. Charging through there was Smith, who has given away a free kick, which was borderline Tiggy Touchwood as well. It was almost a justifier at that situation. That was a
square up, that one.
That's it. That's what the word I was looking for. Around the ground, Stan Sensic.
In Premier Division, 15-minute mark, third term. Vermont 46, Baldwin 30.
Well, 16-point lead. Vermont might be going straight through as the kick by the skipper goes long, and it goes left and through for a minor score. 8.5 minutes tick over in the third term. They called the premiership quarter, and we're in the grand final today. We can finally use it. They've doubled the score. The South Belgrave Saints, they lead the Waverley Blues 42-21 as we cross down boundary side. Thanks to Carsiles, here's Tyson Popplestone.
I've been watching some of the blackest clouds start to get a little bit closer to us down here on the boundary. I think 4 goals, if they hit us, could be a handy lead.
Wesley Smith looks towards the outer side. The Waverley Blues, there'll be red alerts now as a hand pass comes towards Liam Kidd at centre half forward with the intercept. South Belgrave working inside 50, and the mark taken by Porcaro, who's lifted early in this third term with a purple patch. He can go for his second in a matter of minutes directly in front, 40 out.
Well, they're big-time players are starting to hit the stats here, and one guy, Taylor Withers, has had a really good third quarter. He's really held them together on that half-forward line with some genuine run.
Starting the run up from the back line.
Yes.
He's gone for the Michael Holding / Ben Brown run up here, Porcaro. Shooting for his second in a matter of minutes. This would certainly build on the momentum for the Saints. 40 metres out with the glaring boots. Can he kick a glaring goal? No, he's pushed it to the left, minus score. South Belgrave 5-13-43. Leave the door ajar for the Waverley Blues. 3-3-21. Almost 10 gone, third term Eastland scoreboard.
There's almost an expectation now, Davo, that when they go in their forward 50, South Belgrave, they're going to score.
Yeah, look, and he needed to stand up because he had a very, very quiet first half.
So it'll be Smith to bring the ball back in. Getting a fair old bit of cheers from the South Belgrave faithful. Straight down the throat there of Robertson. Winds around on the boot. It was a fair old kick too, but an equally better mark there by Sam Meyer, who pokes it out wide. Here's Smith. He'll waste no time either. Willie Mickey dumps the ball inside forward 50 over the back. It's taken there by Bartels. Can he keep it alive? Good mark. Almost taken by Brown. Good pressure. It's still alive there by Brown. He can't get anywhere. Benny Turner's got him wrapped up. And we'll go to Dan Sensick around the grounds in Premier Division.
Vermont 7-10-52, Baldwin 4-6-30, 19 minutes gone, third term, 22 points the margin.
Crowd getting into the thick of the action here at Jubilee Park as Smith brings it back into play. Runs his full meterage and kicks it towards the true centre wing position. Flying high over the back. Well done play step. Effected the hand pass to his teammate in Miles. They need a goal against the grain here, the Blues. It's an open forward line over the back. Coughlin can't quite latch onto it. Good hand pass out the back from Costa. That was clever, but the kick was intercepted in the end by Tabata. 60 out from goal for the Blues. Kicks into the hot spot. It's a 2-on-1 contest. Saints have the numbers. Spoil affected. Still a chance for Robertson and also Costa. Forced it to ground. Coughlin in a gang tackle. Liam Kidd in the thick of it again. We'll have a ball up 45 out from the Blues goal.
It's hard to believe. I look out of the caravan window and all I can see is black clouds, and I look at a player sheltering his eyes from the sun.
Yes, that's Melbourne weather for you right there as the hand pass comes out. Tapper in the thick of the action. He fell to ground, allowed his player some free meterage, and the dribbling kick looks into the centre of the ground where Odermatt led his player up the ground, paddles it to his advantage. He's still a chance, Lee Odermatt. Picks it up on the 50. Keep going, Lee Odermatt. On the left foot, kick towards the top of the square. It's a one-on-one contest. It's gone all the way. I do not believe it. Lee Odermatt puts the arms up. That's his third. South Belgrave lead by 29. They're 6-14-50. The Blues 3-3-21. It's all happening at Jubilee Park in the third term. A Taman Brothers goal that they contender.
That all started from that little dinky kick by Doreo coming through that half-back line. He just went through like a bulldog and just tapped it enough or kicked it enough to get some valuable meterage there for Lee Odermatt to run onto the ball.
A lot of heads at the moment with Waverley Blues. There's a lot of...
that might have been a clincher.
That could be they got their coach killers, those ones.
That was electric. What a call by Damien Watson. Umpire restarts it. They're going again. Robertson kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing ball out towards Dario right on his hammer. Hawkins ball bounces away. Over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Let's cross down to Penelope Knight thanks to car sales.
Look, it just goes to show any unforced errors that are made by the opposition. Waverley Blues, look, South Belgrave are going to punish you for it.
Way to bring the ball back in. 2 kicks from home, the Saints. Playstead. Timely fist over the back. Robertson goes after it again. Dispossessed his opponent nicely there in Withers. Ball scoots out. Good umpiring, just letting it go in towards the forward pocket and
He's
getting down low. I'll tell you what. They just can do no wrong at the moment. A strong mark there by Brodie Connolly, who takes it. He'll have a shot. He's
just got to not poke at the footy. He's got to go through with it. He's poked at the 2 or 3 that he's missed. He's just poked at them.
He's very Pendlebury-like, isn't he? The way he plays his game, Connolly.
He's got the moustache too.
Yes.
So he wants to get around the goal kickers. He's seen Lee kick 3 on the left. He shoots towards goal. He's kicked 41 now for the season. Look at the crowd get around there, boys. They're fairly confident. The Saints faithful, they're marching on at the moment, the South Belgrave Football Club, and they lead at the 13.5-minute mark of this third term, 56-21. It's a big, big lead. 35 points now, gents.
And as they do in the AFL, he runs straight off the ground. Fantastic, you know. He's done his 7 seconds worth of running. He's going off for his 27 seconds of rest. It's just ridiculous.
You would never do that as a coach, would you, Brett Davidson?
I never had good enough players to be able to do it. So.
Back in the middle. Red alert and red signs now for the Waverley Blues. Placed here, did win the tap, but it's South Belgrave with the clearance through Walls. Kicks it towards the outer side. Leading in the race for the ball is Dario, who's come into the contest in this third term. Hand pass comes back towards Walls, paddles it to his advantage and over the line. True centre weak position outer side.
Yep, 4 goals in 14 minutes has really blown the game open here for South Belgrave. They're sensing it now.
That's why they call it the Premiership Quarter.
Yeah, and that's why they've won 18 of them throughout the year, Damien Watson.
Oh, exactly right. I love the stats there from Wayne Brasher. So we're back in motion once again. Curtis caught behind on that occasion. Haddock's been excellent in the ruck, particularly since quarter time. Tried to bustle his way through. Tackle affected there by Carroll, who kicked a very crucial goal when South Belgrave were down early in the game. Eventually, we'll have a bounce on the outer side in the pick of it, Risley. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensick.
3-quarter time in Division 1, the prelim final. Croydon 6-3-39, Park Orchards 1-5-11.
Well, some interesting scores as you go local for your footy. Tweet them through at Footy EFL right across the afternoon. Some ramifications there across various divisions. Haddock winning the tap on the outer side. Forces it forward for South Belgrave, but standing in the way. The Blues could work it towards centre half forward, but again the defence resolute. Leading out for the ball is Bretner, who's been excellent since quarter time. But a good tackle affected by O'Connell, who's kicked one already. O'Connell wheeling onto the right foot, kicks it towards the top of the square. It's a hot spot footy, and the mark's taken by Turner. He needs to lift, and left the Blues he can do with a shot from 35 outlets and around the grounds. Dan Sensick.
Premier Division at Bayswater Oval. Vermont 8-10-58, Baldwin 4-6-30, 25 gone, third term. Winner goes through to the grand final.
Ben Turner, speaking of grand finals, this is a big kick to give some pulse to the Waverley Blues. They trail by 35 points. Can he lift his side? 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. The pressure is on him, and he stands up to it. Nerves of steel. Turner kicks a goal, his first, and the Waverley Blues stay alive. 4-3-27, trailing South Belgrave 7-14-56. We're 16.5 gone, third term on the Eastland scoreboard.
He's one of those players that they use him up both ends of the ground, and they've seen that now they've got to take him, put him down the forward line. They've just not been able to get scoreboard pressure, and he's an experienced player. Remember, he played for Baldwin. He was a good footballer at Baldwin Footy Club where he was recruited, and his ability to be able to turn a game is well known.
So, back in the middle. 29 points is the margin from the stoppage there. Risley, some sort of quarter he's had, hasn't he, Tim? Up towards the half-forward line. Bartels couldn't quite take the mark. Little fist out there by Strongman. Out into the arms there of Meyer. Looping backwards to go forwards there. Snap around the body up towards the wing position. It's an even contest. Who's going to win out at ground level? The Blues look like they might have the numbers there. Coughlin was in there, had support over the side there. Withers, they're under the pressure here. Well, nicely done there by Hawkins to Strongman. Now they're off. Back in the arms there of Meyer. His kick was an absolute shocker. Take 3. Looping handball over the top that time. They might still have some time here. Tabiner over the top again. Second go. Here we go. Let's go for it. O'Connell to the top of the goal square. They've worked incredibly hard to get there. Over the top there. Nicely done. Milovic picked up by Plaisted. Around the body. Right to the goal line. Oh, my God. Bully Dooley.
Unbelievable stuff. Darcy Walls takes the mark and he kicks it out of that defensive zone. Big fly over the back there by Carroll, and he's been paid the mark. Sensational Dan Sensic around the ground.
Three-quarter time in the Division 2 preliminary final. Mitcham 6-4-40 lead Baronia 3-4-22.
Oh, the intensity is sky high at the moment. You get the sense the game could be determined here as the man in Carroll kicks it towards half-forward Robertson. He's electric in terms of his speed and pace and also height jumping. Gets the hand pass away. Chance now for the Saints inside. 52-1 contest. Odeback box seat. Got it. He's just too good in that situation.
He's definitely been the difference between the two sides.
Lee Odeback can go back for his fourth.
Well, that's it. Look, he's probably taken 10 marks today, so he's just been positionally, he's very good. He's good over the back. He's good at front. He runs his defenders into the ground. Amazing performer, and he performs on the big stage.
Loves the big stage. He revels in it. Lee Odeback for goal number 4. 30 metres out. Stabs at it. It's through the middle. He loves it. And so does South Belgrave. They're 8-14-62, leading the Waverley Blues 4-3-27 on the Eastland scoreboard as we approach time on to the third term.
Well, it's all from the middle, isn't it, Brash? I mean, that's been the difference at the moment. They're just continually winning ground ball in the middle. Risley, Kidd, these players have really got on top in the middle, and that's where Waverley Blues have got to shut it down a little bit.
Well,
how many's that for the season for Leroy?
77. Lord Nelson, as Rex Hunt used to say, as it comes into the middle of the ground. Nicely done there by Playstead. Look away handball by Miles. Spotted up his teammate in Hale. Up towards the half-forward line, out in front and presenting O'Connell, who stood up for the Waverley Blues in this third term. Taking a few grabs across the half-forward line. He's screaming for some options. He's just going to kick it to the hotspot then. It's an up and under kick, though. Low percentage ball in the end as it comes out. Here's Smith on the left boot. Kicks it back out. Well, it's all just coming up very well for South Belgrave at the moment. Bill Costa, handball over the top. He had some time. He was looking for Withers, but eventually went to Brown, whose handball went straight into the Eastland scoreboard. And we will have a boundary throwing time on. Has hit 62-27. Penelope Knight, thanks to car sales.
Look, I spent a bit of time down there in the Waverley camp, and the supporters, they seem to be quiet, but really hoping that last goal from Turner was going to get them up and about. But look, hopefully they can find the inspiration from somewhere.
Dan Sensic around the ground.
Three-quarter time at Bayswater Oval in the Premier Division. Vermont 9-10-64 lead Baldwin 4-6-30.
Well, Risley again got the handball out. Staying alive inside the paint out on the far side of Jubilee Park as the kick goes up towards Brown. He winds around now on the left. He kicks it inside forward 50. They've done this well, moving the ball fast. A strong tackle up high, set play on there. They're going to get out of that danger zone. Oh, what a sensational smother there by Odeback. He'll go after it again. Will he keep it alive? He will not, but he'll get a standing ovation, Lee Odeback, from the Saints faithful down in the left forward pocket. The smother on Wes Smith was sensational down there, right in front of the bench as well for the South Belgrave Saints.
Well, if we're given something for play of the day, he's already won it.
Well, it'll come out of your pocket, Brash, because we don't have an award for that. The comes out middle, slams it on his boot out towards centre half forward. They just can't get through that half back line, I should say. Walls on the right boot, a little bit too far out to score. Instead, he poked it towards the forward line. He was looking for Connolly. He'll go after it again. It might say a lie, I'll tell you what. Used his body well.
Well, they're making things out of something out of nothing here, South Belgrave. Any little fumble that Waverley Blues are doing, they're ready to pounce.
And they're making a lot of fumbles at the moment. That's the difference. They're putting pressure on them. They're under pressure all the time, Waverley, and they're just a bit cleaner at the moment, South Belgrave.
They lead by 35 points as well. A big crowd out here. They've come down the mountain. Now they're standing on the hill behind the South Belgrave goals. Haddock, kick was smothered. Ball still alive. Haddock goes after it again. Handball over the top there by Withers. Oh, this is a go. Risley, little handball off. They're trying to raffle it. They're still working in numbers. Nicely trapped, though, by Twycross, who probably chopped one high. The umpire said it was play on. Dispossessed of the football again. South Belgrave working themselves forward. Here's Stein. Gets a handball out. Brown needs a goal. Will he put it through? He can't. He's dying for a goal, is Sam Brown. He's kicked 43 for the year, a few misses today, and another behind on the Eastland scoreboard. 15 now, 8-15, 63 to 4-3, 27. Dan Sensic. These scores around the grounds at three-quarter time happening.
And the EFL Premier Division, Vermont 9-10-64, Baldwin 4-6-30. In Division 1, Croydon 6-3-39, Park Orchards 1-5-11. And in Division 2, Mitcham 6-4-40, lead Baronia 3-4-22.
Has anyone kicked over 70 points at Tormore in this final series?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Must be that wind, certainly at the foothills of the Dandenong Rangers as Kidd kicks it towards the forward pocket. Too much leverage on the kick, and it'll be a Waverley Blues penalty free kick to be taken by Smith. So Wesley Smith, deep in the right back pocket. Looks forward, but again intercepting is Liam Kidd, who's been excellent this afternoon. Chips it towards centre half forward as he looks laterally at the mark taken by Risley, who's lifted since quarter time. Kick to the hot spot, Odermatt against two, and again numbers winning out for the Waverley Blues, and the clearance will be affected there by Vile. Onto the right foot he goes towards centre half back, finds Coughlin in space. He can run. They need some run, the Blues. Kick towards centre wing. It's a one-on-one contest. No one there really. Uncontested mark taken by Costa on the chest. Just a poor option in the end.
And they've lost their direction in that area. Their actual foot skills have been quite poor since quarter time, Waverley Blues. Turned the footy over way too many times.
Well, they're looking inboard here. The Saints, the chip inside 50 is intercepted by Vile, and he can reload for the Blues. Across that half-back line. Chips it laterally. Mark taken by Smith, just slowing down the tempo at the moment, the Waverley Blues, towards centre wing, trying to pinch in, no mark, and as a consequence, in the end, Milojevic tried to overrun the football. He was successful in that department, didn't want it. Smith looks inboard, placed in a fumble, could be costly. Kick off the ground by DeReo. Odermatt taken down in a crunching tackle. Still a chance for the Saints. Diving on top of the football is Turner. He needs to lift. Hand pass comes out from Playstead. They're in a confined space here, the Blues. Clearing kick from Benjamin. Looking laterally towards the defensive back pocket. Is the bounce going to favour Strongman? No, it doesn't. Yes, it does in the end. Hand pass comes out. It's at left half back. And they can find space through Hawkins, and he can go for a run.
Well, he had a bounce, and then he got around Risley that time on the right boot in towards the middle of the ground. They've just got the numbers everywhere, the Saints, at the moment. They might use the corridor here. Here's the skipper. Kidd got the handball up. They've linked really well here, driving the ball forward to the top of the goal square, and he can work. Leroy comes out. Lee Odermatt, he's going for the B, the 5 goals. Geez, him and Risley have been stars since quarter time, and it's, well, it might be a bit of a rocks, paper, scissors challenge to see who gets the best on ground today. That was super. He is not dropping anything that comes his way, Lee Odermatt.
Look, he's been sensational, but if they have a look at the tape then, Waverley Blues had 7 possessions and they turned every one of them over.
He missed some early and he's been kicking them late, and it started again.
Boundary.
Goes through for one behind, still remaining with the 4 majors today. As we cross down boundary side, there's Tyson Cobblestone, thanks to car sales.
The strut that I mentioned in the step of the Waverley players that seem to disappear at the moment. William Mitchell on the sidelines just begging his teammates to lift, to show a little bit of heart and hunger.
Smith straight down the corridor. Could be costly here for South Belgrave. Hawkins wins the ball out the back. Coast-to-coast football inside 50 in the Tabita direction. The kick went askew. As a consequence, Smith can work it forward from the right half-back position in the direction of Stein, who hacks it towards half-forward. Great mark. Well, no butterfingers there from Bartels, who looks at inside 50. Odermatt flew high. Didn't really have much of a chance. Brown affects the tackle. The Blues under pressure on the last line. Odermatt's lurking. He's lurking. He's in the pocket. He's taken down on a tackle from Vile. Nothing doing from the umpire, and eventually the adjudication will be for a bounce. It's deep in the forward pocket for the Saints.
It's nearly party time the way that he's playing at the moment, Odermatt, isn't he?
Set in motion once again. Connolly with a double fister down the ground level. Overrunning it was Bartels, who took a great mark earlier in the passage of play. Mitchell hacks it forward. Well, to no avail really for the Blues as Twycross is taken down at a tackle. Did get the hand pass away fortuitously, but it's intercepted by Stein for the Saints. Chipping it towards half forward, and the mark's taken by Carroll, who's kicked one already, 55 out from goal.
That was a ripping tackle there by Aiden Kidd.
Carroll, who kicked a team lifter earlier in the game when South Belgrave were down, looks towards the top of the square, placed it, flew high, couldn't hold the mark. Porcaro, who's been good since half-time, still a chance for DeReo outside of the boot. There's a wall across that defensive post here for the Blues, and they can clear it through Smith, but he's intercepted. Great mark, Yonkers. He can go back and have a shot. Just read the play superiorly, and he can shoot from 45 out, 45-degree angle.
And that's been the story of Waverley Blues in the last half. Their disposal out of defence has been very, very average.
Yonkers, he's been named the best consistently this season. He's booted 10 majors for the year. This on the three-quarter time siren to complete a great premiership quarter for the South Belgrave Football Club from 45 metres. Shoots towards goal. It sneaks home. South Belgrave, the fans are loving it, and they can smell that premiership. 9-16-70, the Saints lead the Waverley Blues 4-3-27 with an irresistible third turn.
Unbelievable stuff out here at Jubilee Park. The Saints look like they'll go marching in to Division 2 next year, but there is one quarter to go. The major goal kicker on the ground. The only multiple goal kicker is Lee Odermatt for the South Belgrave Saints.
Oh yeah, look, you can say everything you like. It's up to now. You can't do anything more than that. It's up to the boys on the ground to carry out those instructions.
Start of the final term in the Division 3 Grand Final, and already the statement made by Haddock with a ruck contest win and a clearance towards centre half forward. But the Blues have the numbers across their half back line. O'Connell moved into defence, gives it off to Hale, looks it towards centre wing, and a good mark over the top taken by Bretner, who was outstanding in that third term.
He's been good all match. He stood up in that first quarter when they needed someone off that half back line.
And he capitalised on the momentum too. Kick towards centre half forward. Misjudged there by Codlin. Could be costly. It's at centre half forward here for the Saints. Hand pass comes out in the direction of Kidd of the Aiden variety. Swings it towards goal. Kidd towards the goal line as it got the carry. It bounced well.
I reckon it held up Damien Watson as he kicked that ball.
Yes, it almost had the carry, but it bounced at right angles, and it's going to be a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Saints.
Shane Warren would have been very, very impressed and happy with that bounce.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Nathan Lyon at the moment as well, looking for those sorts of angles. Set in motion once again. Play step, won the ruck contest uncontested, forced it to ground, and will have a bounce.
Boundary.
Turner is wrapped up. Let's have boundary side for Carsales. Tyson Popplestone.
Ashley Yonkers for South Belgrave's just run off. It looks like he's copped a real big knock to his right eye. No blood, plenty of swelling though.
Yonkers has been a fantastic player all season long. O'Connell making the move to defence, tries to force a clearing kick towards that half-back line, and they do have the numbers and take advantage of it. They do. The Blues towards centre wing. Tapper in the front spot is against two Saints. He's shepherded out of the contest, and as a consequence, South Belgrave could work it forward once again towards the left half-forward position. Is the mark going to be paid there? It is to Strongman. Took it with the one hand. The five-finger discount works, and he can work it laterally across their defensive zone. It's a dangerous kick, but it comes off. It was well timed to Benjamin. Needed to be precise, and it was, and they can work it across the grandstand win. Running through is Withers. Had to go backwards to go forwards. Turner chips the pass, finds his intended target in Hawkins. They work it methodically inside 50. The Blues. Meyer flew high. Is he going to be paid the free? He is. Taken high around the neck, really, against Milivojevic. And as a result, Myers will be the recipient. Chips it inside 50. Unmarked. Sloppy defence there from the South Belgrave area. And Twycross can go back and keep the Waverley Blues season alive.
He was very good early, Twycross. He went out of it the last half, but if he can get himself back into it by kicking this goal, and it could be a great start for them.
Twycross will be shooting at his second major of the afternoon. He's had a good season. They trail by 43 points. He's 40 metres out, tries to work it back. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. A slight pulse for the Waverley Blues. South Belgrave 9-16-70 lead the Blues 5-3-33. They needed that first goal of the final term on the Eastland scoreboard, and they got it within 3 minutes.
And look, the thing was that they ran the ball out of defence. They started to get some hands and feet that were hitting targets, and they haven't done that for, especially the third quarter. They just missed so many easy targets. Then they were much better.
Well, 37 points the margin. Brash, is there some glimmer of hope?
Always a glimmer of hope, but a slight glimmer.
Indeed. Play step winning the clearance. It was a nice improvisational kick. Didn't gain much meterage in the end. Tapper playing a bit of tunnel ball, and also in the pack there was Risley.
Boundary.
Secondary bounce. Let's head to boundary side with thanks to Carsales. Penelope Knight.
Look, it had been a while, but those may have thought that the Waverley Blues supporters had gone home. No, they're still here. They're making a noise. They're getting the guys up and about and trying to get them inspired.
The Waverley Blues haven't made a final since 2008. Up until this point, of 2019. The kick goes inside 50 for the Saints. Odebat through high. Couldn't quite take the mark. It's shoveled out. Still a chance for Paul Caro. Swings it round his body. It's a vacant goal square. It bounces across the face of goals. It's still in play, this ball. The tackle is affected there by Hawkins. It's not too high, according to the umpire. We'll have a ball in the forward pocket for the Saints.
He's tried hard in the back half, I think. Hawkins, he's just been overwhelmed by the amount of ball coming in there.
That's it. Since quarter time, it's been South Belgrave with the advantage and the superior play. The supporters have whittled around to the other side of the ground, favouring the end in which they are kicking. Over the football is Hale from the ruck contest. Tries to lock it in. Still burrowing it out. Porcaro, gang tackled. Will have a bounce once again. 30 metres out from the Saints' goal. You think they should double team Odermatt in this last quarter?
Oh, well, they can triple team him and it probably won't make much difference.
He'll still find a way to kick a goal. Whistle out of this stoppage, and it looks as if the umpire will recall it. So we'll have yet another bounce to the Bronx cheers of the crowd. I think they've been reasonable today, though, the umpires. Playstead won the tap. O'Connell was claimed. He was forced to ground. He's on his haunches. Good tackle affected. Chance for Haddock. Got the hand pass at a confined space. On hands and knees there was Porcaro, who's been good since half-time. Still the ball is in dispute. The umpire letting it go. O'Connell affecting the tackle there on his opponent in Withers. Will have a bounce 30 out from the Saints' goal.
They have been good, Damien Watson, the umpires. They've let it go a little bit too and tried to make the game flow, and I think it's been a good spectacle.
Indeed, probably against the grain in terms of expectations. Playstep won the tap. Turner clearing it for the Blues, but really
that's
to
the
no
first time
avail.
he's touched the ball today, Todd Burt.
Indeed, 60 out from goal. Burley looks direct, inside 50, and Lee Odermatt takes the mark on his chest. 10 metres away from his opponent. He can go back and shoot for goal number 5 directly in front, 35 out.
One touch, one goal assist.
His running patterns and his ability to sum up where the space is to go is outstanding.
Set around the grounds, Dan Sensic.
15 minutes gone. Final term at Bayswater Oval. Vermont 9-11-65. Baldwin 4-5-29. You'd think the Eagles through to the grand final, surely.
Lee Odermatt shoots for his 5th goal. He's pulled it to the right, minus score. So South Belgrave 9-17-71 lead the Waverley Blues 5-3-33. 6 gone. Final term on the Eastland scoreboard. Let's head boundary side with thanks to car sales.
Ashley Yonkers has just gone back onto the field with the reddest right eye you've ever seen. He looks like he's in a bit of pain. He's squinting, but he's ready to go again for the last 10-15 minutes.
Tyson Popplestone down there doing a great job in the elements in the second term when the rain was coming down. Codlin chips the pass out of his defensive goal square to Hawkins, his fellow defender. Looks out wide towards centre wing over the top. Rufus couldn't take the mark. Tapita tried to effect the hand pass, but the intense pressure of South Belgrave too much. Kidd kicks it inside 50. The Blues have the numbers deep. It'll trickle over the line. Probably a good result for the Saints. It'll be a throw in deep in their forward pocket. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensic at the score centre.
21-minute mark. Final term out at Tormore Reserve. Croydon 9-6-60. Park Orchards 2-6-18. The Blues, you'd think, will play Doncaster East next week in the Division 1 Grand Final.
Robertson won the tap, contesting that run contest in place of Haddock. The Blues will try and clear it through Turner. Didn't get enough purchase on the football. O'Connell could. He looks towards right half back, and the mark taken by Mohammed, who kicked a fantastic goal in that first term. Probably Odermatt's 4th might have matched it. Mohammed kick towards the outer wing, and Wolves will see it over the line right in front of the Eastland scoreboard, which indicates South Belgrave lead by 38. Let's head boundary side for car sales. Penelope Knight.
Luckily, we saw some big dark clouds rolling in over the Yarra Ranges, and the weather gods, the weather footy gods have come out today, and it looks like we might just avoid that rain.
It seemed to move easterly, so it indicates we may have escaped the rain. Haddock won the ruck contest and handed it out to his teammate in Yonkers, who looks towards centre half forward. De Rayo was in the box seat, couldn't take it.
I thought that was a ball up. Both blokes had both hands on that.
Well, Hale's the recipient of the free kick, kicks it into space towards the broadcast wing. Twycross arches the back, tries to find support. He's overcome by Odermatt, did get the hand pass away, but Liam Kidd steps in. He's been a general for South Belgrave this season. Looks towards right half forward. The spoil is effective from Bile, and it should trickle over the line. 55 out from the Saints' goal.
Well, if they're going to have any more impact on this game, they've got to kick a goal within the next minute or so, because otherwise...
I might be wrong there, guys. I'm happy to admit when wrong. It's raining. It's raining.
I think the game will have got away from the Waverley Blues if they don't score a goal very, very quickly.
Haddock won the tap. The rain starting to come down. The Blues under siege at left half back. The kick towards Haddock. Tabita almost took the mark on the second bite. Hand pass comes out from Risley. He's been excellent. Off to Liam Kidd, who's been equally as good. To the top of the square. 1-on-1 Odermatt. Has he got the set? He's got the mark. He's been paid on the second bite.
That was well done by Lee Odermatt.
Just brute strength in the end. Forced his opponent out of the way with the one hand. Took it with the other. He can go back for goal number 5. Almost point-blank range.
His protection of the ball drop then was exceptional. He understood exactly where the ball was and he managed to protect the drop, take the mark. Very, very clever.
Lee Odermatt. He's been an integral player up front for South Belgrave this season. Will he be singing in the rain? Yes, he does. He's singing in the rain, and so are South Belgrave. That's goal number 5 for Lee Odermatt. 10-17-77 the Saints. Waverley Blues 5-3-33. That could be game over in the Division 3 Grand Final, almost 10 minutes in Eastland scoreboard.
I think he's kicked 5 goals for, hasn't he?
He has.
So he's actually kicked more than Waverley Blues. So it just shows the dominance of the man. He's and look, I'm guessing at 10, I'd say he would have taken 12 or 13 marks. And when you're taking that as a key forward, you're certainly going to be able to have an influence on a game of footy.
44 points is the margin. Here's the skipper, Kidd, out of the middle. Well, they're just charging forward now. The mark's been taken by Dario. 55 metres out. Goes towards the top of the goal square where the big juke's there by Connolly. The umpire didn't pay it. Brought to ground. That time there was Vile. The ball's still alive. Little snap around the body there. Trying to get amongst it was Withers. But they're going to get out of that danger zone. Benjamin, his kick was smothered. He'll have to go after it again. The Saints keeping the ball alive. Robinson in there. They've given away a free kick. And Benjamin, the last line of defence, great name. We'll have a shot. We'll bring it back out of that danger zone.
That was Odermatt again with that smother.
Yeah.
Just amazing. The work rate of a forward.
And Simon Hawkins bring the ball back into play. Harcourt Ringwood obviously wanted that shown as it came out towards Todd Burley. Takes the mark on the weak position. As, Leroy Green's rent just got paid for the month. As the kick goes up towards half forward, Playstead takes the mark on the right boot, pokes it into the middle of the ground. That's okay, they're doing it. Okay, as it comes out to Coughlin on the left boot. Got the handball that time by Taverner up towards the half forward line. Once again, Bill Costa's in there. He's had a good game, Costa. This time he was beaten by Hale. Got the handball away to Miles. Miles kicks it long, kicks it to the top of the goal square. They've got the numbers strong as an ox. Todd Burley, if you do not mind, takes the mark and he's copped it up as well. And the mark has been taken there by Evans, who is a little bit indecisive, but you've got to go back and have a shot from these positions.
Yeah, he just has not been able to get into the contest today, Billy Evans.
Well, really, if you look at that replay, the Waverley Blues player walked straight in front of his line then, Burley.
It was a shocking kick that time by Evans. Miles went in, Smith over the top, and will have a ball up 25 metres out from goal. So, we're into the final term here, the final 20 minutes or less than for Division 3 for 2019. What a season it's been by the South Belgrave Football Club. Brown for the Blues, though. This time goes deep, goes long, but Jack Retner's there to take the mark.
Boundary.
He'll happily switch the play here as it goes out towards Aidan Kidd, who's got a little bit of space, takes the mark and takes off as the rain comes tumbling down. Bouncing football. It goes favourably here for Vaccaro. He did really well. Little handball over the top, up towards centre half forward, chopped off there by Hale. He got brought down. As he goes after it again, another strong tackle. He's going to get rewarded. Get a free kick against him here. South Belgrave poking it across the half-forward line. Mark has been taken there by Aidan Kidd. Which way's he going to go? He goes inside forward 50, let himself down there. Tyson Hale takes the mark. As almost seems like the Hale's come tumbling down at the moment.
I knew that was coming.
So we know how that feels, don't we, Brash?
Yep.
Goes out.
Again, if Tyson had brought the pink umbrella, he would have been all right, but he's left it at home again.
Let's head to our dredge boundary riders for car sales.
Hey, boys, I've just realised I'm ready to take up my commentary career if you guys wanted to swap positions right now.
I know where that umbrella is too.
Fire brings the ball back into play now. As ball's going to hit the deck. Preparation's key, boundary riders, when the weather's been saying it's going to rain all week. Hashtag just saying. As Haddock hands the ball back to the umpire.
Should have learnt from the pros last weekend.
Comes in now, Haddock from the stoppage. Almost could have been paid holding the ball there.
Well, those the two guys hiding behind the coaches' boxes.
Oh, there we go. He's been sorted out. Tyson Popplestone, thanks to car sales.
I've got the manliest umbrella you've ever seen on a boundary line. I don't care about the judgment I got with the pink one. I'm rocking this till the end of the game.
You're leaving Pet in the wet as well?
No, I've just invited her over right now, boys.
Just checking.
Oh, I thought you were going to hand it to Penn to hold it for you, mate. Chivalry's not dead as the umpire throws the ball in. A chance for the Blues. Handball over the back. It's been a little bit of a lull. So a little bit of giggles happening amongst the commentary team as it goes up towards the half-forward line. Muhammad did well there, but Payne beat him, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. So the wind's howling, the rain's coming. Cross down to Penelope Knight.
And obviously, given the weather conditions, it certainly isn't deterring the ever-faithfuls out here. They're sticking by their sides that siren goes.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and the grandstand's absolutely packed as well. The ball goes towards the boundary line and over. There's some final scores coming through throughout the Eastern Football League in Premier Division, Division 1 and Division 2. It's our sides who will continue on, who will be going straight towards Mad Monday. It comes in now. Nicely trapped there, or Yonkers did well to put the pressure on, got boot to ball in the middle of the ground, bouncing Pill. Which way's this one going to go? Charging after it there was Odermatt. Winds around on the left boot now. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. It held up a bit in the breeze there. Connolly was going after it. And over she goes for a boundary throwing. Dan Sensick around the grounds.
Final score in Division 1, the preliminary final. Croydon 10-6-66 have defeated Park Orchards 2-6-18. Croydon will play Doncaster East next week in the grand final.
We look forward to that with plenty of anticipation. Ball back in once again. Turner tried to kick it off the ground. Hand pass comes in the direction of Playstead, who breaks a couple of whippy tacklers. Not the third, however, and that's holding the ball. A good tackle effected by Stein. And he can force it forward for another foray for South Belgrave. Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensi.
Premier Division, 24 minutes gone. Final term, Vermont 9-13-67. Baldwin 5-5-35.
32-point margin. You'd think Vermont would be home at this point of the game. It's deep inside the 450 here for South Belgrave. DeReo tried to break a couple of tackles. He was successful. Got the hand pass out. No support, however. Evans works it back. Still a chance for Hale. Deep in the right back pocket. A chance for Strongman to clear. He does so towards centre wing. That ball skidding along the line there in a confined space. South Belgrave have the numbers. Great evasion shown from Bretner. Just ducked his head out of the tackle. Hand pass comes out in the traffic, eventually ends up with Walls, who hacks it towards centre half forward, finds the intent to target him. Brown, who's been fantastic all season long, and he can chip it into the pocket. And guess who was on the end of it? Odermatt. He can go back and shoot for the half dozen BWS.
Yes, well, Leary, I told him he needed 6. He had to kick 6 today.
Had to kick 6.
So I hope he gives us a salute afterwards.
So Lee Odermatt will be shooting from about 52 metres out on a slight angle. You would think with the confidence and adrenaline,
Come on, Oders.
he can nail it.
Surely there's a bit of South Belgrave ink going on the body after today.
I would think he's got enough. He'll add a bit more to it.
He's gone for the spiral. He's gone for the spiral.
Oh, yeah.
And has it gone all the way? No, the goal umpire has no sense of theatre whatsoever. South Belgrave 10-18-78. Lead the Waverley Blues 5-3-33. 17.5 gone final term Eastland scoreboard.
Well, the ball comes back in. Hawkins. I think's had a decent game for Waverley today, Hawkins.
Yeah, he can hold his head up.
So switches it across. Strong man on the right boot. Far side of Jubilee Park out here. Saints with the numbers at the full. Robertson on the left boot. It was a scrambly kick, but it worked out okay in the end. 17, make that 18 minutes gone in the final term. It's a 45-point lead to the South Belgrave Football Club, who are going to go undefeated in season 2019. Snap around the body by Baccaro, in towards Brown. Well, we wanted Brown to get amongst the goal kickers all afternoon. He's on the wrong side for a lefty. He'll go the Boonah surely. And let's hope he can put through his first and his 44th goal for season 2019. He comes in now. He'll go the banana and he kicks the goal. You little beauty. Sam Brown kicks his first. And South Belgrave, the Saints are going marching in. The crowd's getting around it. They're loving it now. And it's that time in a game, in a grand final, Davo, where you can just probably on the bench sit back and soak it all in.
You certainly can. I mean, the hardest part now is trying to get the 18 on the ground, because everybody wants to be on the ground in this last 6 or 7 minutes. So you're looking to see who's getting rotated, and you're thinking, don't rotate me off the ground at this stage. I want to be there when the siren goes. So, they've just been too good. This is why they've been the top side the entire year, been able to finish sides off, and they've done it this after quarter time today.
Ticking towards time on in the final term of the Division 3 Grand Final. It's South Belgrave by 51 points on the Eastland scoreboard, and they can just bask in the jubilation at this point in time. The kick towards the Waverley Blues left half forward position, but it's all South Belgrave with the numbers. The chip pass towards centre wing in the Liam Kidd direction has gone out of the full. It'll be a penalty free kick to the Blues. So the recipient is Vile. He's had reasonable patches, but he's been tested in defence today. Kick towards half forward, play step flew high. There's space out the back. South Belgrave have the numbers at the fall of the ball. Clearing kick towards centre wing. It's a 2-on-1 contest. Brown caught in the meat of the sandwich. Well sharked at the end by Withers, who was good in the first term. Kick towards half-forward Odermatt. He can go for the barrel. Instead, unselfishly gives it off to Porcaro. He can waltz into the open goal and puts it through. There's cream on the cake for South Belgrave. His second, and South Belgrave move on to 12-18-90, leading the Waverley Blues 5-3-33. 20 gone final term on the Eastland scoreboard.
So not only has he kicked 5, but he's had a couple of assists as well. So, he's just done everything right at the moment.
15 marks.
Odermatt, and that's a great goal for Porcaro. Just continue to run hard and get in the right spots, and he's certainly been good.
He was injured early on that round, 13 to 15. They were a bit worried whether he was going to come back in because he had a serious groin injury.
Let's head around the grounds. Dan Sensick at the score centre.
Full-time in Premier Division, Vermont 10-14-74 have defeated Balwyn 5-5-35. The Eagles have booked their place in the Premier Division Grand Final in 2 weeks' time.
Well, certainly tested, but Vermont have prevailed with a very good second half. We're back in the middle. No secondary bounce ensuing as the hand pass comes out from Strongman for the Waverley Blues. They're playing for time now. You can see tired players all, as we do have eventually a secondary bounce in the middle.
Boundary.
That's our boundary side with thanks to car sales, Penelope Knight.
I'd just like to say secondary bounce, the umpire, Dean O'Neill, celebrated his 50th birthday last night.
Fantastic, and he's come up trumps today.
Absolutely.
Still at centre half forward here, De Rayo. They just want to join in on the party, the Saints players, trying to weave his way out of trouble. Forbes, he was unsuccessful. A free kick to be paid for holding the ball. O'Connell, the recipient for the Blues. At centre half back, looks to the outer side. Finds the intent to target him, Miles, who couldn't quite take it on the chest. It bounced off his chest with the wet, heavy and greasy ball. Hand pass eventually comes out to Hawkins. It's on the outer side, over-possessing the football there, the Blues, and as a consequence, Kidd of the aided variety intercepts. Hand pass comes it back to Walls. His kick was a shocker in the end, intercepted by Hawkins, and the Blues can clear.
And that they do from the edge of the centre square. Vile on the right, kicks it in towards the middle, Playstead. Had a fantastic year. The right boot, chips it up. Finds Tommy Miles, goes back to Playstead. He tries to unload. It was a floating kick though in towards the forward pocket. It might bounce favourably for them, but it does not. Gretner there to put the pressure on his opponent in James Taverner, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Only 5 minutes left in this Division 3 Grand Final. What a clean sweep it's been for South Belgrave in 2019.
It's going to be a big night at up the mountain tonight.
Oh, yeah. As the handball comes out, how many more can they pile on? Celebration goals. Costa in towards the middle.
I think the last time I saw do that was Warrandyte.
Yes.
Strong man. Inside forward 50. Big fist by Burley. It's okay. In Rufus's arms, kicks it inside forward 50. Getting underneath it there was Wes Smith, who had a mountain of kicks this afternoon. A lot of them from the 18 behinds that the South Belgrave have put through. But great to see Wes kick a goal.
I suppose that's one of the other things we look at. They've had 30 scoring shots to 8.
Yeah.
So, it just tells the dominance they've had after quarter time, basically.
So Smith, kick from just inside the arc, about 48 metres. He might not have the purchase here. It goes right to the top of the goal square and rushed through for one behind. Eastland scoreboard 23 and a half minutes gone in the final term. 91 to 33, Daniel Watson.
There's only Academic now on the scoreboard. Walls to bring it back into play for the Saints. Just trudges out of the defensive goal square. Kicks it towards right half back. In the box seat was Burley. Couldn't quite take the mark. A couple of fistful of spoilers over the top, and it's seen over the line by Milivojevic. We'll have a ball in 55 out for the Blues goal. Well, it's been a complete performance. I think a margin of 46 points not indicative, or 56 points not necessarily indicative of the dominance of South Belgrave this season, but still a worthy result, considering their percentage was almost 400 at the end of the home and away season. It's been as dominant a performance we've seen from an individual side of the Eastern Football League in recent times. Haddock won the tap. At ground level, Withers kicks it towards half forward. It's on the grandstand side. The Blues have the numbers. Judging the ball, the better was Robertson at ground level. Burrowing in there is Strongman for the Blues. He's taken down by Bartels. We'll have a bounce. 70 out from the Saints goal.
He's probably been a player that's been a little bit quiet as Bartels.
Yeah, he was all right the opening 15 minutes in that first quarter. Got into a lot of action, but has basically died out of the contest.
Evans won the tap. Hand pass comes out from that player. And still they persist for the Blues, despite the fact the grand final is out of their keeping. Tabita was held back. Couldn't quite take it on the chest. The Saints have the numbers. Kick towards half forward is intercepted for the Blues by Rufus. And he can repel for the Waverley side. Looks laterally into the middle. Bounces off the chest of Oliver Brown. Could be costly. He's taken down by another Brown. Of course, it's Sam for the South Belgrave Footy Club. Nothing doing. We'll have a bounce in the middle.
Damien Watson, you just better stop.
Don't like the dad jokes, Brash?
No, I was talking about the song.
Haddock won the tap. Still a chance for Liam Kidd, who's been excellent all season long, and it's been punctuated today. Looks out wide to Sam Brown. Golden Brown kicks it inside 50, and the mark's been taken by Connolly, who was very good in the opening term. Chips the pass into the pocket and finds his teammate Costa on the chest. He can go back and shoot from 25 out on a very acute angle.
I'd love to see Costa get a goal here.
Does the Stevie J, swings it round his body on the right foot, only a minor score to the left. So South Belgrave move on to 12-19-91. The Waverley Blues are 5-4-34, dying stages of the Division 3 Grand Final on the Eastland scoreboard.
Well, it's certainly been a complete year, hasn't it, when you consider what they've been able to do in all three teams this year. It's a phenomenal performance by the coaching group and the club in a whole.
So again, the Waverley Blues looking to clear. We've seen that and become accustomed to that all day as Smith takes the mark. Wesley Smith seen plenty of the football down his defensive end.
And I think they won the best club in all the divisions this year, just pipping Vermont.
Smith wheels onto the right foot, sends a probing ball towards half forward. It's a one-on-one contest. Liam Kidd in the front, used his body work to perfection in the end. Got the hand pass out. There's the siren. The team at the top of the mountain reach the top of the mountain in Division 3 with a perfect season. South Belgrave are the premiers for 2019, 12-19-91, defeating the Waverley Blues 5-4-34.
Is the game we play. We will keep on fighting back for the red, white and the black till we see the flag flying down our way. Boys, cheers, we're from South Belgrave. Football is the game we play. We will keep on fighting back for the red, white and the black till we see the flag flying down our way. Down our way.
Well, what a finish it was to 2019 in Division 3 this year. A clean sweep by the South Belgrave Football Club. 3 premierships today, congratulations. Waverley Blues, what a gallant effort, what a great season you guys had. No doubt you'll be back bigger and better next year. A big round of applause for the Waverley Blues. Now I'd like to welcome up onto the stage EFL board member Sue McMillan to present the medals today to the winning side. The first medal we're going to give out today goes to the best on ground player out here at Jubilee Park. The Frank Bibby Blue Ribbon medalist, which today goes to Lee Odermatt. And now for the premiership medals, starting with number 1, Ricardo Dario. Number 4, Phil Costa. Number 6, Tim Risley. Number 9, Jack Bretner. Number 12, Sean Bartels. Number 18, Todd Burley. Number 19, Michael Smith. Number 20, Taylor Withers. Well, it's take 2 for the 22, Leotamat. Number 23, Adam Stein. Number 24, Aidan Kidd. Number 26, Declan Forbes. Number 29, Michael Milo Milojevic. Number 30, Ben Haddock. Number 32, Sam Brown. Number 33, Carmine Baccaro. Number 35, Brodie Connolly. Number 39, Darcy Walls. Number 43, Ashley Yonkers. Number 55, Brad Carroll. Number 55, Brad Carroll. Number 68, Jay Robertson. The runner, Gary Hughlin. Assistant coach, the assistant coaches, Andrew Gibson. And also Brad Smith. And team selector, Sean Butler. The team manager, Mark Hunnett. The skipper of South Belgrave, Liam Kidd. And the senior coach, Luke Galliot. We'll just ask Luke to say a few words.
Firstly, to Waverley Blues, obviously a fantastic footy club, and gave us a real scare early, to be honest, and tried to remain composed, but first time all year, to be honest. It's I was really worried. I hope that doesn't sound arrogant, but it wasn't meant to be like that. To Steve and Bryce, you're really well led. Got some serious talent, some young, really strong young group coming through, and I'm sure if you stick together, the future's bright in front of you. So thank you guys, appreciate it. I'm getting worried. To our group, I'll be quick. I just want to thank Danny and the committee, obviously, for appointing me 12 months ago and giving me the opportunity to lead such a fantastic footy club. Real community spirit about it. So much great support, and as I said, really proud to be a part of it. But I think the playing group has been a real special one to me. First year in the job, the commitment that I could talk about, the buy-in, and the reward is yours on the hard work that you've done all year, boys. You deserve everything you get. Carmen, you're still my favourite. And it's as simple as that, boys.
2019 premiers in Division 3, the South Belgrave Football Club.